Oh, can you hear me, South Africa? Just get out of bed. Come on, it could be the best day of your lives. Good morning. Welcome to it. My name is Graham Richards.
Oh, I'm Carissa Cupido, and this guy over here.
Yes, I'm Nature Boy. Call me Raldo Morning. But it's not about us, it's about you this morning, Mzansi, because it's Monday morning. Firstly, fresh off the weekend and fresh into another brand new week, which means new opportunities to do incredible things. And maybe we should start with some movement first. What you guys think?
As one should.
Please bring it on. From movement to music, meals to money. Today's show is all about connecting with what matters at the end of the day.
So we're going to kick things off by moving our bodies and centering our minds with a refreshing Monday morning Pilates session led by Firdaus Paruk.
Nice.
And if you need to move your body in a dynamic way, but you just want to ease into it, I think this might be the perfect mode for this morning. And I'm speaking about myself.
We all need it.
Just ease in, baby. Ease
who's
in.
going to be the Pilates princess between the three of us? I guess we'll find out.
I need it. I need it the most, I think.
I love that. And then, speaking about the music box, we meet Paris Sibalokulu Lamini, whose debut album is already making amazing waves and putting Swati soul on the map. And let me tell you, that sound check...
You don't understand. You're going to hear a lot of there's going to be a lot of weird noises and funny facial expressions today, more than usual, actually.
Absolutely.
He is sounding phenomenal. He's got a story to tell.
And I think you don't need to bring any energy because he's brought it all for us, for you and everybody this morning, Mzansi, turning up the heat. And we're also going to do exactly that in the kitchen, where we turn up the heat with a one-pan Moroccan-style kitchen. It's paired with some warm, sparse Moroccan rice. And then we've got a true taste of North Africa that celebrates comfort and, of course, tradition. You know
all the four ways Boyki's like, rice.
It's going to taste nice.
I can't wait to go to Morocco. It's definitely on my bucket list. So very excited to get into that delicious Ras meal, preparing my stomach for exactly that. For now, though, let's start off the conversation in Mzansi to get the morning going.
Bring it on. Obviously, we're always saying good morning to you first up, and we want to know, seeing that it is Africa Month, being Africa is a big flex, and we're proudly celebrating it all month long. Now, the question really is, what is your favorite thing about Africa or being African, G-Man? And are we going to limit this to one answer? Because people are going to come through with paragraphs here,
I'm sorry, we're going to be terrible today because we're going to gush. We're going to gush over this beautiful continent. I think it's exactly that. It's being a part of the continental journey for me at the moment.
Absolutely.
When you see what's happening in Kenya, when you see what's happening in Ghana, in Nigeria, and how South Africa, there's something else happening in this beautiful space.
Bro,
I cannot wait to see what the next 10
I'm
years.
looking at like some of the athletes, and you look at the Bogo from Botswana, you look at Omanyala from Kenya, you look at the South African 400 and 100 meter runners, you're looking at like absolute sensational world-class athletes, better than the rest. And that's just in athletics. We've got so many other sports, so many other cultures, so many other art aspects.
Come on.
Africa is where it's at, and y'all need to tell us why.
That's the number to you, 063-036-9649. Flex a little this morning. We'd love to hear from you. Just be proud, be lacquer, be exactly where you're from this morning, and we want to see what that looks like. But of course, we need to connect with the rest of the world and see how they are getting on. So let's get into those news and sporting headlines, then the fun can begin.
Thank you so much, gents. Let's get into your national news first. Nigerian evangelist Timothy Omotoso, founder of Jesus Dominion International in Durban, was deported from OR Tambo Airport to Nigeria yesterday afternoon. Arrested in 2017 on over 90 charges, including rape and human trafficking, he was recently acquitted of the remaining 32 charges after several were withdrawn. Now, the High Court ruling in Gqeberha on the 2nd of April has drawn sharp criticism as a setback for justice. Following his acquittal, Omotoso flew from Durban to Johannesburg before leaving South Africa, where he is banned for the next 5 years under immigration regulations. In other national news, Communications Minister Solly Malatsi has unveiled a plan to bring cyber technology to all rural schools by 2029, aiming to bridge the digital skills gap between urban and rural learners. Now, the move forms part of a wider national push to build a digitally skilled workforce. However, critics warn that the initiative must not overshadow urgent needs such as school infrastructure and STEM subject shortages. Despite praise for its ambition, concerns remain that poor facilities could hinder its success unless tackled alongside digital development. Now let's take a look further afield at your international news-making headlines, where Nigeria has deepened bilateral ties with France, unlocking creative infrastructure funding that could grow from 35 million to 100 million euros. At a press briefing, Minister Hannatu Musawa outlined the collaboration with the French Treasury, promoting audiovisual co-production and creative economic growth. The agreement supports public-private partnerships, empowers talent and boosts job creation, aiming to position Nigeria as Africa's creative capital. Now, this initiative is seen as a turning point for Nigeria's global cultural footprint, with the arts sector poised to become a major economic force. Meanwhile, Pope Leo XIV celebrated his inaugural Mass at St. Peter's Square before 150,000 cheering faithful and dignitaries, including leaders from the US and Ukraine. Riding through the crowds in the Pope-mobile, the first American pontiff received the pallium and fisherman's ring as symbols of his office. Now, the 18 May ceremony marked a historic moment following Pope Francis's death last month. Leo's appointment signals a new chapter for the church as global attention now turns to his approach to faith, diplomacy and reform. And finally, Austria's 24-year-old contourner JJ clinched victory at the Eurovision 2025 in Basel with his genre-defying track Wasted Love, a techno-opera fusion that dazzled both juries and audiences. The competition was fierce, with Israel's Yuval Raphael securing second place through a powerful public vote. Now, the grand final was a spectacle of creativity featuring Estonia's Tommy Cash serenading a giant coffee cup and Armenia's mud-covered dancer. The event-themed Welcome Home showcased Switzerland's rich cultural heritage through innovative stages designs as well as traditional elements like yodeling and alphorns. Despite political tensions surrounding Israel's participation, the contest celebrated unity and musical diversity, with JJ's win marking Austria's third Eurovision. So congratulations to them. We wish them all the best going forward. It's where we leave your 6 o'clock news for now. Let's get into those sporting headlines with Graham.
And we are dialed in. Let's start with rugby. The Vodacom United Rugby Championship quarter-final fixtures are locked in. That was after a thrilling final pool round. So the Bulls, they continued their form. They crushed the Dragons 55-15 to seal second place, and they will host Edinburgh. As a result, the Sharks, they placed third after their 12-3 win over the Scarlets, and they face Munster down in Durban. They're going to need that home ground. Then the Stormers, placing fifth, they meet Glasgow away, while the top-ranked Leinster, they'll be hosting Scarlets. The Lions, they ended 11th despite a brilliant 29-28 win over the Ospreys to sign out their season. Now let's turn to football, and speaking of signing out your season, Crystal Palace absolutely did it in style. They stunned Man City 1-0 in the FA Cup final at Wembley, securing their first major trophy in the club's 120-year history. Eberechi Eze netted the winner in the 16th minute, while Dean Henderson, he saved a penalty from Omar Mamouche to further compound the incredible moment. The victory also earning Palace a spot in next season's Europa League. An unbelievable moment. Now we stay with footballing moments, and Gomo Lemo, Kekana's spectacular long-range strike, and it was spectacular. Secured Amajita a 1-0 win and their first ever under-20 AFCON title. Well done. His 17-minute goal, confirmed by VAR, broke the deadlock against a very disciplined Moroccan side, it must be said. That marked South Africa's first win over such opposition in the tournament and their first final appearance since 1997. Quite a moment, making them the 12th nation in history to lift this incredible trophy, and the moment was big. Speaking of big moments, we got another one on the track as we turn to Formula One, and Max Verstappen did it. He won a thrilling Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, holding off McLaren's duo of Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri for his fourth Imola victory. So the Red Bull star, he passed pole sitter Piastri on lap 1 and then maintained the lead throughout. Lewis Hamilton also impressed with a charge to fourth for Ferrari. Despite finishing third, Piastri now leads the championship with 146 points. Thrilling sporting weekend, and we'll touch on all of those highlights again in about an hour or so. Right now, a foot of the brand new week and a brand new day. Let's see what the weather has in store.
Thank you so much, G-Man. Yes, we had a beautiful weekend, but it looks like this week shall be different because South Africans should prepare for icy conditions. And that's taking place over the next two cold fronts, which are moving in today until Friday. Now, the South African Weather Service says these systems will hit coastal areas of the Western, Eastern, and Northern Cape within 48 hours. And that's sending temperatures plummeting inland from Wednesday. Now, rough seas, strong coastal and interior winds, and potential snow in high-lying areas is also expected. Now, heavy rain may also be leading to flooding in the Western Cape from tomorrow. Now, the public is urged to monitor updates via official weather channels. Well, as we brace for the change in weather, let's brace for a beautiful sunrise view to start our day off. And we've got Keenan coming through to do just that. All the way from GQ Becha, and look at this beautiful shot. I don't know if this is on a golf course or not, or if it's somewhere out in a beautiful nature reserve, but it looks majestic. The grass is looking so lush. I can just see that sun picking up over the horizon, and the colors in this one is just absolutely beautiful. 24 degrees of Celsius weather is what you can expect, Keenan, but I gotta say thank you. That shot is incredible. Perfect way to start the day, and let's do it all again. Mzansi, the number is 063-036-9649. In the next hour, we'll share another, hopefully, incredible sunrise view. For now, though, let's see what temperatures you can expect on your side of town.
You could be forgiven for huddling up and getting a little closer. It is going to get chilly, so we'll do our best to comfort you. Now, we'll relive the amazing weekend and its weather, going through some of the highlights. Dying to know what you guys got up to, man.
Oh, man, I can't wait to get straight into it. And then I think we've elected our Pilates princess. He did raise his hand.
Listen,
Yes.
I need it. The body's feeling stiff. I need to get my leg going. I need to get the heart rate going as well. So,
Very
Mzansi,
good.
why don't you join me? It's not going to be intense. It's going to be a perfect way to start the week. Get your body moving and get the heart rate up. And I'm telling you, the endorphins are going to flow after this.
I manifested that word in your head. I'm like, oh, this sounds like endorphins to me. And then you said it. Oh, this is the manifestation station. And we are celebrating Africa Day. So keep the comments coming on the social media streets. Share why you are proud to be African. And we will give you a number of reasons this morning to feel exactly that. Well done. I'm a cheater, by the way. We'll see you after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, welcome back, you beauties. Thank you so much for choosing to start your week with us. It's not lost on us how amazing that is. And we relish every opportunity. But of course, before we move forward bravely into the new week, we thought let's have a little fun and recap what happened over the weekend. I did nothing. No, I was looking after the kids. So we had play dates, and then my sister's been a little bit sick, so we've had her gorgeous daughter tagging along. It's just been amazing. But obviously not a huge amount of pictures of the children. But I had to bring you an update of the winter saga with the animals.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun. Yep. So now, and the
goodness.
ridiculous thing is the other cat is about the same size as all three of them put together. So they've got to choose either 3 or the 1. And you'll see they'll even go under the blankets now.
Oh, my word. Wait, the last time you updated us on this, there were only 2. There was a cat and one of the dogs.
You see what I'm saying? So now someone's got their pass. They're allowed in. And there you can see.
So when do you crack the nod?
And just so, in case you thought I was forcing them to all sleep together, just a wagging tail. Oh, no, that all moves to our bed as soon as we all go upstairs. So that was my hip, cool weekend, man. Please
perfect,
raise the stakes a little bit.
I must say I had a beautiful start to the weekend. Straight after work on Friday, the ocean was pumping, so I went for a surf, and then Mal and I went for a snorkel. Nice. The viz was so incredible. I got to see a few animals at Long Beach. I don't have pictures of that, but I do have pictures of the next few days. So Saturday was like full-on girl power day. So started at my gym, training some of the ladies, and they were doing some incredible bar work, which you can see over here. And it's so cool to see the strength that our ladies are getting in the gym.
Nice.
It's so awesome. And these are the Gaia girls that I'm hoping will get involved in some of the competitions. And one of the competitions that I went to was so incredible, was at Hout Bay CrossFit's fitness center. It's incredible in the valley. And I got to see some of the ladies, and Mal also competing. And guys, nice. Mal did a 3-rep PB for a deadlift, 140 kgs.
Wow.
3 reps, like just non-stop. It was so impressive. And there's some of the teammates that she had, Alsha and Lauren as well. But all the girls were just incredible. And this was a girls-only comp. So just seeing what females are doing, what they're getting up to, it's inspiring.
I was about to say, I think they did you a favor by making it a girls-only
Yeah, I would have been so humble, bro.
This is what I'm saying, man.
Yeah,
no, we've crossed the line. I remember training with the Springbok Sevens ladies with the weight work that they were doing and how vitally important, especially as you progressing through life, how important the heavier weights are for your body and your bones, dude.
Yeah, it's so
Love
cool,
what
man.
you guys
And
are
then,
doing.
listen, before I take up too much time, Sunday was so cool. First opportunity to go venue hunting for the wedding, guys.
Oh, get out of
we did the things. I found something incredible. This is out in Robertson. It's perfect. There's a pool. There's a forest to get married in. There's so much. There's mountains. There's hiking.
It's
perfect. It's just a bit out of the budget. So, yeah, this is the dream wedding. I'm not letting go of this one. This is Pat Bush somewhere out in Robertson. But, hey, man, prices of weddings are expensive, guys. I don't know how people are doing it. How?
They not.
Trade.
They're taking
My friend,
loans.
I'm going to say the word. It's called trade, okay?
Yeah,
and it's how
we need to talk, guys.
It's a modern barter system. It's how we all survive in the world at the moment. No, but now the problem, you've done yourself a dirty now that you've found it.
Yeah, that's the thing. The bar's been set.
Exactly,
But listen,
man.
enough about our weekend. That was just a little bit of what we're getting up to and where we're heading in terms of Nature Boy's life. It's crazy.
Can we hand around a hat? We'll do that until the wedding comes. Just we're gonna have a hat in studio, please. Anyone?
Your tithes and offerings. I love to see it. All right. Speaking about girls, I had a nice girly date on Friday. Caught up with one of my cousins. It's actually my cousin's wife, but I've embraced her. We've known each other our whole lives, so it was really exciting to just catch up over some really good food and some wine. And then yesterday I visited a market. I was like, why not? Nice. I was trying to have one of those weekends where I did absolutely nothing like you, Gray.
How did that work out for you?
I mean, I went out twice. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. So we hit up the market, which was really cute. I saw a kitten that I almost took home because I feel like my cat's lonely. Like, it probably needs another cat, right?
You're just like G-Man. I worked with G-Man at one of the adoption agencies. Kryptonite when he sees cats.
Oh,
well, they've actually just stopped sending me to these places.
And I had delicious curry and lamb. Like, it was just such a good time. Also, I didn't have to cook, so that was always going to be good.
It really is. Good company, good food, good weather.
Come on.
I mean,
great
come
weather.
on.
It really
Yesterday was fantastic. So that was definitely the cherry on top of my Sunday, quite literally, and just had a great time.
All right, we're going to take now. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to mourn the loss of the weekend and the nice weather. Let it go.
Okay, we're ready.
Oh, it was a beautiful weekend. So hopefully you had an amazing weekend as well. You can share your highlights with us as well. We love to see pictures. We love to see videos. You know that. We love to see food. So please, if you had amazing food, let us know. And I quite like the girl power theme that is bubbling under at the moment. Can we keep that going? Really like that.
Absolutely, effort. And I think we're also here for the fact that we get to give you opportunity fresh, early, on a Monday, especially if you spend all your moolah this weekend. Hopefully we can put
Or
some
you need
back
some
in
money
your
for a
pocket.
wedding venue.
Hey, maybe I should get involved in this.
Yes. We want to know if your Monday could mark your unforgettable moment. Yes, no, maybe. So you got to play Daily Lotto for an estimated 400,000 Rand jackpot today, and then you can find out.
400,000
lot of
Rand.
money.
Come on, get your tickets now. You can do it in-store. You can go online, nationallottery.co.za. You can use their mobile app. You can use cell phone banking, whatever your app looks like. There's normally a little drop down in there. You can dial *120 *7529# for USSD. That's multiple ways. Come on.
So many options, and here's more, because we put the details on our Expresso social media pages. So literally, you can go check it out right now. Get yourself in the running to win big, and that means you could possibly be getting 400,000 Rand richer, but only if you play now. Mzansi, get involved in this one. We all need the money, clearly.
Yeah,
Clearly.
please.
It's going to be a bun fight today, so you better get your ticket in. I'm a firm believer in mood and emotion not just being here or here, but there is a connection somewhere else. In fact, the gut is a major connector between how we feel, whether that's physical or emotional, and we'll get into that connection in just a moment.
Yeah, and it looks like I put my hand up for Pilates.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm
volunteers.
excited. Why are you guys laughing? This is going to be cool. You get to join in Mzansi. It's no pressure whatsoever, and I think it's the perfect start to just usher your body into this beautiful new week. We'll see you around the corner.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Now, as we know, our gut health plays a major role in our overall well-being. Yet so many people struggle with digestive issues without knowing what the root cause is. And joining us today on the couch, we have Laura Johnston, CEO of Fighters Sutix and integrative nutrition health coach, as well as registered dietitian Gabby Meltzer. And we're going to be exploring how diet stress and also supplements can impact your gut health. Ladies, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Very interesting conversation. I think it's all over social media too, just figuring out how we can better secure our bloated bellies, because so many women, even men, struggle with this. So maybe I can come to you, Gabby, and just find out a little bit more about what people usually come to you to find a solution for. What is the thing they usually come to you for?
So my specific interest is in IBS. So I mostly am working with clients who have uncomfortable gut symptoms. So whether it's constipation, whether it's diarrhea, whether it's excessive bloat or cramping or pain or excessive gassiness, those are the clients that I'm mostly seeing. And generally, I find that there's quite a big association between a very busy person, so someone who doesn't prioritize themselves, or someone who's maybe had a lot of dieting kind of cycles. So maybe they've either had too much restriction from trying something to try and improve their symptoms, or maybe from like over restriction for weight loss reasons. And both of those things can actually worsen symptoms. And then never mind the anxiety that's provoked by being worried about either foods making you gain weight or foods worsening symptoms. And that affects this gut-brain axis.
Well, let's get into this gut-brain connection, because Laura, I've heard that they've said the gut is like the second brain. So what's your perspective on that?
Yeah, so things like disordered eating and stress really can affect this gut-brain axis. So your neurotransmitters, which are basically your feel-good hormones, serotonin and dopamine, are all actually created in the gut. If you have an unbalanced gut environment, you're not going to really create those neurotransmitters correctly, which is going to affect your mood. So it's not just pain and bloating and, you know, this constipation and uncomfortable gut environment that comes from a poor gut, but it's also the mood, the anxiety, you know, these side effects. And this gut-brain axis has become so important. And, you know, there are probiotics out there that actually have been clinically proven to work on this gut-brain axis. So things like Ceregut, which is a probiotic, can really help with that.
And I love that you also mentioned that it's not just the food we eat that trigger the hormones, but also the environment that we find ourselves in, the extra stress, the busy lifestyles that contribute towards this as well. But when we're talking about tools to address the gut issues, please tell me that there are some.
For sure.
Okay,
So
good.
I think people are often starting with all the things that they shouldn't be doing and looking for all the eliminations that they should make.
Right.
But it's not really the place to start. So we begin with more eating habits and patterns. So I often find that people go very long hours without eating, especially very busy people, or if they're trying to fast because they're dieting or whatever it is. So with that can come very ravenous appetite and then overeating by the time they do eat. So for a sensitive tummy, not the best.
Yeah.
Sometimes I also find that people are not getting into like a rest and digest state before they eat. So especially these busy people, they are eating as quickly as possible, you know, shoveling in whatever they can when they can. And then there's also the relationship with food. So how they eat, if they're already so worried about what they're putting in their mouths with how that's going to affect them or their symptoms, then already you're not creating a very rest and digest kind of state.
Oh my goodness, can I tell you, I'm so guilty of standing and eating and also watching a bunch of things while eating, trying to get work done in between. And you're recommending rather just have that as a moment of maybe even being grounded and being concentrated on your food.
Totally. So those are the first things that we address before we even look at what they're eating.
Sure.
And then in the what, I mean, most people don't meet their fiber requirements. So we always will look at additions before we're looking at eliminations. And then besides for that, we will look at other things in the lifestyle. So relaxation, the amount of stress, the amount of sleep that they're getting, any movement if they're not doing much at all and just sitting at a laptop or a computer the whole day. So we'll always look at those things first before looking at any sort of elimination.
Laura, what other sort of tools could we have when looking at even things like IBS and inflammation in our bodies?
Yeah, so I'm obviously coming from a supplement perspective, and we do a lot of research on clinically based, you know, researched ingredients that can help with certain health conditions. And I 100% agree with Gabby. It's very important to get the basics right in terms of nutrition, timing, stress, etc. But, you know, there are things out there like butyrate is incredibly well researched. And what this does is it helps with inflammation in the gut. It helps repair the gut lining, which often leads to leaky gut, which has this whole cascade of negative health effects. But it can also regulate the good and bad bacteria in the gut, which can lead to things like IBS. So butyrate is in a product of ours called Better Gut. Great name.
Great name.
And it really has shown massive benefit for people with gut issues like Gabby's been mentioning.
I love this. I always love that there's a solution because I think that there's even some stigma and shame attached to gut issues. People don't always talk about it confidently, so this is great that we're having this chat. Maybe just ending off with some health habits or tips that somebody can focus on today to make a difference in their lives.
I think always focusing on what you can add in. So what is a positive change that you can make?
Yeah.
And starting slow. I think often the kind of clients that I see that seek help are maybe more perfectionists, and it's interesting. It's quite normal to want to do everything perfectly, but that often ends in a failure. So I would say build on small steps. Start with one thing that you think could be helpful to change, whether it's when you eat, how much, what you could add in, eating more mindfully, whatever it is, or something to do with your lifestyle. And then also, I think it's important considering doing something for your health rather than focusing on doing something for just weight loss. It's quite different. And also the amount of noise that we're maybe exposed to now with social media and the internet, you know, it's endless. So I think it can be quite overwhelming and quite tricky. So just starting somewhere, thinking about what are the positive things that I can do, rather than what are all the things that I shouldn't do.
I love that. I love imperfect progress because it's still progress at the end of the day. You don't have to be perfect the first time. I'm telling myself that as well. Ladies, thank you so much. This has been so informative and so helpful, because at the end of the day, we want a happy gut. It equals a happy life, right? Because no one enjoys feeling bloated. I can attest to that. And uncomfortable. From mindful eating to gut-supporting supplements, small changes really can make a huge impact. So for more information, do go ahead and look at the perfect product to treat your gut by visiting phytoceutics.com.
Optimize your gut health with Phytoceutics range of pre, pro, and postbiotics. Use code Expresso for 15% off at phytoceutics.com.
I love this Monday because it's feeling like a Health Tuesday, and it means we're already living in the future. But let's keep you future-proof this morning on your Feel Good Breakfast Show by kicking things off with an energizing Monday morning Pilates-based workout. Now listen, this is perfect for waking up your body, boosting your mood, and setting a strong positive tone for the week ahead. And we have Firdaus Paruk here from the biokineticist. Well, she is a biokineticist at the Sports Science Institute of South Africa, and she's joining us for a fun-filled Pilates-based workout. And she promised it's not going to be intense. She promised that everybody at home can join in this one. So don't feel intimidated by moving, especially when we're doing something like Pilates. So Firdaus, how are we doing this morning?
Energized, ready to get moving this Monday morning.
Oh yeah, and
Ready to
I'm loving
move.
the fact that you bring in Pilates because there's so many different types of movements,
Yes.
but this helps everyone, whether you're an elite athlete or starting the journey. I think you can benefit from the incredible work. So talk me through it. What are we doing?
We're just going to do a full body Pilates based exercise, and what we're going to do is we're just going to start standing on your mat. I like to always start just softening
Standing.
into the mat and just
Okay,
starting
nice.
to
Let's
breathe.
get into
a lot
it.
of people always get overwhelmed with exercise, so I just like to calm them down first before we get going.
You're not going to put us
So-
into a crazy pretzel move to
There's no
start.
burpees,
Love it.
no high intensity, it's nice
Beautiful.
and easy. You're just going to start. You can keep the shoulders relaxed, close the eyes, and just take a nice deep breath in, taking the arms up to the ceiling, and breathe out, taking the arms down. You're going to do 2 more breaths, just getting in the zone, taking a deep breath in, exhale, and you're going to give me 1 nice deep breath in, just grounding yourself, getting ready to get moving, and exhale. How I also like to start is just with the roll down. It's one of our Pilates fundamental movements. You're just going to tuck your chin to the chest, and all you're going to do is roll down towards your mat as you hang heavy in the head and the toes. And just hang. You're going to inhale at the bottom. So with Pilates, we do a lot of breathing. And then on that exhale, you want to roll up. You want to almost stack your vertebra one at a time, like Lego blocks as you roll all the way up, stacking like Lego blocks. You're going to give me 2 more roll downs. Deep breath in and exhale. Let's tuck that chin to the chest. We roll down, keeping the feet hip width as you roll down, letting the arms hang heavy, palms facing into each other. And let's slowly roll up, lower back, middle back, upper back as we come up, shoulders relaxed. Let's go for 1 more roll down. Deep breath in, and as you go, tuck the chin to the chest, you roll down, vertebra by vertebra. Let the arms hang heavy. Let gravity just pull you down here. Beautiful stuff. Feel that segmental control in the back. Deep breath in at the bottom and exhale. Let's roll up from that lower back. You feel that vertebra as you stack them up. Beautiful stuff. Alrighty. Feeling all warmed up.
Yeah,
Loose.
just the breathing alone is so good for me. I'm feeling exhilarated but calm. I love this. All right, what's
Lovely.
next?
Okay, we're going to start standing slightly wider than the hips, toes pointing to the corners of your mat. We're going to start with our squats. You want to imagine a string pulling you from your head up to the ceiling, so you're nice and upright, the shoulders are relaxed. And very important to keep those knees in line with the toes. So it's a deep breath in. Your arms are going to go out on that exhale as you lower down. And then inhale, you're going to come up, making sure you squeeze those glute muscles. We go exhale as you lower down and inhale up. You're going to give
Zanzi,
me
I'm sure you're joining us right
more.
now, and I'm sure you're feeling the endorphin release, but already I'm feeling like this morning has just turned up a bit, feeling like I'm part of a movie scene as I elevate my body. And if you're joining us right now, you'll feel the same thing. Firdaus absolutely coming through, loving this. Sorry to interrupt you, but I had to share that.
No
This
worries.
is beautiful.
Nice, as you lower down, coming up, we squeeze those glutes. I want those knees in line with the toes. keeping that back upright. You're gonna give me one more and we're gonna hold it there. Feel that burn. And as we hold here, we're gonna pulse up and down. We're going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Feel the burn. 3, 2, hold it there. Last 5.
Woo!
Feel that burn.
I can
4,
feel it.
3, 2, 1. And let's come all the way up. Let's walk the feet back in.
The blood is
Perfect.
flowing.
Just shake
the
it
heart
off, shake
rate's
the legs
up.
off.
Low impact. I'm loving this feeling
Beautiful.
already.
We're going to make our way onto the mat now. Okay. Let's go on all fours. We want our hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're just going to again loosen up into the spine. We call these cat and cows.
Oh, I love these.
Alrighty, so let's start with the inhale. And then on that exhale, round the back, look towards your thighs. And then on the inhale, arch that lower back, open out the chest, looking forward in front of our mats. Exhale, we round that lower back, chin to chest, eyes to thighs. And inhale, you arch, making sure your neck moves last. There we go. Let's go for 3 more. Rounding that lower back. And opening out that upper back. Beautiful, let's go 2 more. Feeling that control into the spine. We go for 1 more. And then coming back into a tabletop or flat back here.
Because I feel like so much rust just came off my lower back right now.
Amazing
If you're over
stuff.
probably like 20 years of age, you definitely benefit from this exercise.
100%.
And every year after that. I love that.
Alrighty, so you're gonna push your weight evenly between both hands. We're gonna work some glutes here. So with our right leg, you're gonna bend the knee. We're gonna kick up to the ceiling, keeping the knee at 90 degrees. So exhale as you lift and inhale lower. We'll stick to the right and then we'll switch over. Let's go, exhale, lift and inhale lower. We keep those elbows straight, shoulders are square and chest is open. Let's go for 6 more. Exhale and inhale. We're going 5 and 4. Nice, squeeze that glute. Making sure not to arch in the lower back as you take that knee up. 1 more, we're gonna hold it there and we're going for our pulses. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lowering that knee back down. We switch it over to the left.
I love that cue of not using your lower back because I think I was quite a bit.
Automatically the back
And
randomly
it
wants
starts
to
to
arch.
take over. So focusing on the glutes here, on the power muscle. I love it.
Squeeze those glutes. Go exhale, lift, and use that inhale down. Perfect. Let's go up and down. You got the movement. Let's take the pace up. Let's go for 4
Double time.
and 3 and 2. Last one, we hold it there. We're pulsing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lowering back down. Beautiful stuff. How are we feeling?
I'm feeling amazing. I can take over the
Amazing.
world right now. I'm sure if you're joining us right now, Zanzi, you'll feel these same feels. But this is absolutely incredible. Have you got another one for us, Brian Shots?
We're gonna lay onto our side now.
Finishing strong, Mzansi, and I hope you've stuck around for this because, endorphins, he's just serving it up.
Okay, let's lay on your side. You want the knees together, feet together, and you want to lift up into that waist. So imagine some sunshine into that waist without collapsing into that shoulder.
Already using like intercostals and a bit of
Yes,
core here.
there we go. Keeping those knees together, squeeze them down. We're going to lift into our side plank. So as you take the hips up, you take the arm up. We're going to go in for some twists, so threads. Deep breath in, we prepare. Exhale, let's go through. Keeping those hips stacked. Inhale, up, look towards those fingertips. And exhale. Inhale. We're going for 4 more. Use that breath. Inhale up, we open out the chest. Let's go for our final 3. Beautiful. Last one, we hold it there, 10 seconds. Looking forward, keeping the neck onto that spine, making sure you're not sinking into those shoulders, keeping up into that waist.
Woo!
4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's lower back
Unbelievable
down.
stuff. While we get to
Beautiful.
the other side of Mzansi, let me tell you, I'm feeling like this is the kind of work that makes your body bulletproof. And if you want more of this, then definitely try and reach out to Sports Science Institute and you can get for a dose because she's doing incredible work there. She's calm. She makes you feel so comfortable and somehow unlocks all your power. And I think this is what we all need. So I can't thank you enough. That was so awesome. Perfect way to start Monday. And I hope you enjoyed that too, Mzansi. We've got to finish on the other side, but don't forget to keep moving. And if you want some
some more of this, reach out to this incredible soul. Oh, that was good. Let's finish the other side.
Let's do that other side.
Well, from the hands being high five ready after an incredible workout to being kitchen ready, we're about to get back into the kitchen for a one-pot chicken Moroccan wonder, I'm going to call it. Yep, it's super simple. Everything goes in one pot and it is delicious. And then, of course, Paris Lamini is here. We've been talking about the sound checks. He sounds phenomenal. When you talk about making your mark, yes, he will do it this morning, undoubtedly, but in a grander sense, his debut album is killing, and we cannot wait to get into his journey, what's informed that creativity, and what he is most excited about in this incredible new space he's playing. So that conversation will start on the other side of this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And let me give you a dose of entertainment with the guy that's on our couch this morning. I'm talking about Paris Lamini, a rising force in the South African jazz scene. Now, his sound is so bold and spiritual and deeply connected to his cultural roots. With the debut album, Ingoma Busuku, he's capturing hearts and also ears alike across the country and the world. So before we get into the chat, let's take a listen to the voice that's redefining modern jazz. Come on, we have no choice but to give him a feel-good welcome. Oh my goodness. Paris, how are we feeling? That was incredible.
Oh, I feel so great. It's so beautiful. That is moods in Switzerland.
Sure.
It was special. Very mind-blowing, moving my heart, my soul, my mind to the T.
Sure.
You know, and it's very special to have appeared in those stages because moods in Zurich is very much heritage, is very much historical venue amongst other venues like the Bird's Eye. So it's been great.
Oh my
It's been great. It's
And the
been
great part is that we also get to share in this magic today.
Whoa.
Whoa. Yeah, I think that's what we need to say. Whoa, because I don't even think you're ready, Zanzi. But before we get into the music, let's talk about an album that's coming onto a month of its release. Ngomo Busuku, recorded in just 3 days. Are you joking? Please tell me about this process and why it only took 3 days to put this magic together.
So with the album, first and foremost, what's special about it, it was recorded in Cape Town, Penny Lane
Come
Studios.
on. Give it up for the Mother City.
So, yeah. So that is why it's so sounding so beautiful. But more than anything, it's that I was working with creatives starting from a visionary man. I call him a visionary man. I know we're still going to talk about him, but I call him a visionary man, Linda Sikakane. Where I got to feature in his third album.
Award-winning album.
So the award-winning is the fourth one. So the build-up was on the third. In fact, it's always been building up. But you know, the third one to the fourth.
Sure.
You know, it's been so special. So having done that, so me and the master, Ndutuzo Makatini, we did the project from morning, load shedding, but at night we could be very much productive, you know. But also he created the music on a Monday, which is 23rd of January, 2023.
Sure.
Then I started laying vocals for all the tracks instantly there in studio. And we started seeing visions, started seeing where this was going to take us. Because he was like, are you ready, man?
Sure.
I never saw this. I never saw everything that's been happening, that's coming, that has already come through. So on the second day, the band is there. We are touring Linda Skakane's third album with the Swiss musicians and French. The second day, they laid. That day, we had Mr. Mbuso Koza coming in studio for co-producing the vocals, guiding the whole process, you know, because those are my masters and my big bros. So that's how it happened. And on the very same Wednesday, we had a show with Linda. So I was actually mindful of not exhausting the creative juices for the tour, for what I came to Cape Town for. But at the same time, I needed to make sure that this is my debut album.
Unreal.
Which I started recording it back in 2013.
Oh.
And funny enough, files got lost when they broke into the studio with at Bob Tembam Kiza's studio in Joburg. I was working with Makatini at that. So you see, I never saw all these things coming, but it was destined to have Makatini to be my producer for my debut, my second, my third.
Come on.
We're still gonna be doing things, and it's very much innovative. He opens up space for me to do my thinking, to do my thing. He doesn't want me to sound like anybody.
Sure.
He would fight if anybody says, no, he must sound like this. Yeah, he would fight. So
it's like you've got your own voice, your own sound. He's also a friend of the show. We had him on just before Jazz Fest, and I got to see him perform, and my goodness. So I completely get where you're coming from, but 3 days while still touring is absolutely insane, and you sound incredible. So I can't wait to show the rest of the country what exactly you have in store for them. But let's get into the name of the album itself. I'm really curious about the inspiration behind Ngomo Busuku. If I'm not mistaken, it translates to Song of the Night?
So it's Song of Night, yes.
Song of Night, okay. So what does this mean to you? I know there's a poetic meaning behind it all.
First and foremost, at night, it is when we give birth to so many things. You know, at night, that's when you become yourself.
Yeah.
Because when you sleep, you get into another world. That's when most of the things get born. That's when you get to wake up and take your journal, write the things, write the ambitions, write everything you want to put out there.
Sure.
You know, during the day, I have to impress you, how I need to dress, how I need to be. Some people at night would sleep at night very much free and naked.
Yeah.
You know,
most vulnerable.
Exactly,
Yeah.
you know, mostly vulnerable. But they give birth to new things. They give birth to, so Song of Night. So for me, Ingoma Busuku, it's the birth, first and foremost, it's the birth of my new projects, of my debut. But it's mostly, when you listen to it, it's the birth of more ideas for you. It's the birth of purification, humanity, love also, because we try to balance the two. We open with a prayer song on the album, but we close with a love song. You know what I mean? I've got Zulu love songs. I've got song that rallies behind us Africans, you know, in a good way, which we're gonna.
Oh, yeah, we look forward to that. It's Africa Month, and we've got to be celebrating everything that we have as a continent. Like you said, the fight in us, but definitely the love in us at the end of the day. Paris, thank you. We're going to get him back for some quick-fire questions in just a little bit. But for now, though, we've built up a bit of an appetite. Let's head to the kitchen.
Definitely one to celebrate. We're celebrating Africans, reminding you to come through when you tell us about the Africans that you are loving and why you're so proud to be an African. And obviously, as we celebrate Africa Week and the continent's rich cultural tapestry, there's no better way to honor its diversity than through food. So today we're going to be bringing the bold, comforting flavors of North Africa to your kitchen with a one-pot Moroccan chicken. And it's just a few pantry staples and warm spices which will allow you to discover how easy it is to serve up the soul of Morocco and right from your home. I'm still going to work on my Moroccan accent, but G-Man's here to work on the recipe.
I was waiting for that to come in, dude. That was actually the whole reason why I signed up for today's show, was to just wait for the Moroccan accent to come out at some point. Now, we'll do this for the four-ways boykies today. And bearing in mind, we are two South African lads attempting a Moroccan flavour profile. Okay, that's probably the best way to explain it. We are not saying that this is an exact traditional Moroccan recipe. We're feeding off what we've been inspired by the flavours, or at least Tiff, our amazing head chef, is. And we've got some great flavour combos going in here. So obviously the heart and soul of this dish is our chicken. You want to brown it. Somewhere in the recipe it says the skin and the fats are optional. I don't think that's
come on,
true.
No,
Okay.
you can't leave that behind.
Come on.
Involved.
But that's the flavour for me. Is there anything closer to divine right than the taste of chicken skin? I'm sorry, man. There's just something about it.
There's been people that have been always demanding this in restaurants. Just serve me up some chicken skin on a plate, bro.
Well, I think you can
that's how much of
get
a
it
love.
now, yeah. But that's the flavour and the fat. So obviously we've got the brown meat of the chicken here. We've got the thighs, which I think is slightly more flavourful anyway because there's a bit more fat. So even if you are going to take the skin off, cook with the skin at this phase to get the fats out, to get the flavour out.
Fats and flavour, exactly that, man. And obviously you're getting different textures and you want a lot of that experience in your food. Also, the fact that this is one pot, G-Man, is something I'm loving. Because for convenience, for meal prep, this is always going to be advantageous. So you threw a couple spices in there.
All right, so we've got turmeric to make your fingers yellow. We've got some paprika, we've got cinnamon, and we've got some cayenne pepper, because you do want a little bit of heat, but this is kind of the balance of heat and sweet a little bit. So we've got the apricots and the honey to balance it out. But once again, just like when we're cooking a curry, I always put the spices in with the oil first to kind of toast those spices off, get the flavour right the way across. And of course, you can just smell how that's coming.
And I love how the skin that we've kept on, which was optional, is absorbing all the spice, all the flavour, and the colour as well. So literally doing its job. And I think that's another benefit of adding the skin to it, because it has such a high absorption level when it comes to getting these flavours packed in.
I wonder if they list that on the label. What's the absorption level on the skin on this chicken, please? I want the absorption rate and the level that it goes to. But you must think about these things with a one-pot wonder. That's exactly right.
Exactly that.
Everything
and
to
that's
come
why
together.
I think the steps in the one-pot wonder make so much much sense. You get the steps right, it's almost bulletproof, it's foolproof. Even myself and G can make it. And
Wow.
even I think we could possibly even trick North Africans into thinking this is traditional. They'll buy into this.
And I'm going to push the skin because we now made such a thing of it.
Yeah.
But I think, for me, I think this is a critical phase of the flavor process. Oh, just smell that. Absolutely amazing. Press the smell button on your TV again.
Ow.
Okay, I think that looks great. So now we can just start dressing this guy up. Okay, so
Does
we're
it
going to
matter
start.
what we add first?
Let's call some onions, shall we?
Yeah, let's get that in
Go
there.
for it.
So normally, this is the weird part for me, because normally like the onions would come first and you'd saute them up a little bit, throw some garlic and stuff and get that going. But I like how this is flipping the script and making the chicken the hero almost.
Completely. And I always, like with a meat, I always feel like you've got to kind of seal. Someone told me early on in my bride journey, seal the meat.
Yes.
So that's like embedded in there, that you've got to kind of seal that flavor in. But I think it also speaks to how much flavor is in the natural fats of the meat. So let that be the flavor base or the oil base for the meal. And we've got, you can see how much more fat is in there from when we started.
Yeah,
just as a result of this cooking out.
I've been loving this concept of using different sort of fats to cook with. So I've been using tallow, which is almost like an animal
beef
fat,
tallow,
and I've been really enjoying it. It adds flavor, it absorbs the flavor, and it's almost like a beautiful medium and a bathing sort of agent that just really creates ambiance for the flavor to just literally bask in. And I think that's something that you're naturally getting from
It's like a spa day for the chicken. Look,
exactly.
man.
Well, look at that. It doesn't get better than this, man. Come on.
Now just summer adding for the sake of TV. I
Nice.
mean, you can build this up nice and slowly as you do. But the advantage of having a one-pot wonder is that it's exactly that. So I've got our chopped tomatoes. I suppose you could even go with a tomato puree or even a tomato paste if you want something a bit
Perfect,
thicker.
man.
We've added our stock. I've just put the whole lot in there. You can build it up as you go. But I want this to cook low and slow and really simmer down. So I'm there. The more liquid, the better.
Talking tenderizing powers here.
Come on.
Come on. This meat is just going to drip off the bone, but everything else is just going to be so involved. And I think this is that thing that if you've got more time, put it into the meal, because it's going to get better and better. Like G-Man says, low, slow, long. It's going to be a song.
Now, what's going in here, dude? What have we used in every recipe this year?
Honey.
Honey. For some reason, honey is the star of the show this year, man.
I love it as a sort of natural alternative for something sweet instead of using something like a sugar. Honey is also low GI, so it's not going to give you such an insulin spike as well, or a spike in that sense. So, again, great stuff here.
It kind of feels like the original superfood to me, because there's all sorts of other, like I've heard microbial and
bro, don't
antifungal
get
and
me
all sorts of
started.
things.
Yes.
But of course, we've added quite a high acidity with the tomato, so to balance it out. And rather than using brown sugar or something that I would normally lean on, now we've got another natural sugar.
This, bro. How cool is this?
Absolutely
I love
beautiful.
how we are using this into the meal. It's something that I think everybody loves to snack on, dried fruits. So when you're incorporating fruits for that sweetness, for that texture sort of change in your meal, wow, this for me is that cherry on the top. Or should we say apricot on the top?
Exactly, and the apricot's going to shine here. I think it's got a nice balance of the sweet and the acidity as well, and especially when it's been aged like that, it just gets a little funkiness to it. Imagine the balance of flavors here. You've got a nice solid base, and we've ramped it up with the chickpeas as well, which is going to make the meal stretch for a little bit longer.
Yes.
And now we just cover this 25 minutes, 30 minutes or so. Just let it all melt away. It's going to be beautiful. And yes, please keep the skin on.
This is perfect meal prep, and I know someone that's been enjoying a meal prep and just getting into more meals. Carissa, obviously, and I think if you were to think North African, I don't think that this is a dish that's too far off of the cultural stuff we might even have at home, right? The stews.
Absolutely, it's so similar. The tomato-based stews that we have here as well is very popular. But I love the chickpeas, extra protein, extra fiber.
Completely. And I think for me, where the local curries here, certainly in the Cape and the Cape Malay style, is a bit sweeter, like you say, a bit more tomato. I think this is leaning on a flavor profile we down in the Cape might actually be quite comfortable with.
It smells incredible.
I would ramp it up. I told him, press the smell button on your TV. And then just a little bit of salt and pepper as you go, and I would add more heat. I think this is screaming for like a bird's eye chili, but that's me.
The lark is spicy.
Yeah, the lark is spicy in the north, yeah.
The Ross is spicy. Well, listen, other people that definitely like sparse and sports, it might be you, it might be you. Well, let me tell you, Breyton Paulse in particular is somebody that I recently had the honor to meet and interview.
What a legend.
And his story is absolutely incredible. I mean, the stars really aligned for his destiny, and I'm so excited to get into that. Not only that, we're going to get updates on the URC. Some very exciting things are happening on that side of the world.
Yeah, man. 3 of our teams are through. Simple
well, look at that.
as that. Yes. We'll find out who after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Monday is just going perfect already, and just like that, perfect timing too. Just in the hour when we're going to carry on with official duties and then bring back the magic. For now, though, let's start off with national headlines. Now, SASSA has warned beneficiaries against false claims circulating on social media about a double grant payment in June and changes to pension rules. Now, the agency confirmed that the only increases were those announced by Treasury in March and effective in April, with the next increase due in October 2025. Now, it dismissed reports of pension rule changes from the 10th of June and urged recipients to rely only on official communication. Now, SASSA again reiterated that gold cards will remain valid beyond the 31st of May 2025 and called on the public to avoid sharing unverified grant-related information. Well, next up, Nigerian evangelist Timothy Omotoso, founder of Jesus Dominion International in Durban, was deported from OR Tambo Airport to Nigeria yesterday afternoon. Now, arrested in 2017 on over 90 charges, including rape and human trafficking, he was recently acquitted of the remaining 32 charges after several were withdrawn. Now, the High Court ruling in Berga on the 2nd of April has drawn sharp criticism as a setback for justice. Now, following his acquittal, Omotoso flew from Durban to Johannesburg before leaving South Africa. And this is where he is banned for the next 5 years under immigration regulations. Well, we move over to international headlines, and Israel will allow basic food supplies into Gaza after a 10-week blockade, aiming to avert famine amid intensified military operations. Now, this shift follows expanded ground offensives and strikes, including one on a northern hospital. Now, Gaza's health ministry reports over 60 deaths in 24 hours and warns 3 hospitals are now non-operational. Now, as humanitarian conditions deteriorate, ceasefire negotiations persist in Qatar. Israel insists any deal must include hostages' releases, Hamas exile, and Gaza's disarmament, while continuing its campaign dubbed Operation Gideon's Chariot. Well, next up, Nigeria has deepened bilateral ties with France, unlocking creative infrastructure funding that could grow from 35 million euros to 100 million euros. Now, at a press briefing, Minister Hannatu Musawa outlined the collaboration with the French Treasury, promoting audio-visual co-production and creative economy growth. Now, the agreement supports public-private partnerships, empowers talent, and boosts job creation, aiming to position Nigeria as Africa's creative capital. Now, this initiative is seen as a turning point for Nigeria's global cultural footprint, with the art sector poised to become a major economic force. Well, finally, in rural Zimbabwe, an electric tricycle called the Hamba is quietly changing lives, and it's women in the driver's seat. Now, built by homegrown startup Mobility for Africa, these tough, solar-powered three-wheelers cost just $15 a month, and that's to lease. And this will allow them to turn daily struggles into smooth rides. So if you need to fetch firewood, rush a child to a clinic, or get tomatoes to market on time, well, you are sorted, because the Hamba brought more than convenience to women. It brought confidence, income, and a newfound respect. Now, with 70% of the fleet reserved for women, swappable $5 batteries, and plenty of boot space, it's pretty clear. The road to empowerment comes with 3 wheels and a full tank of sunshine. Absolutely love this, and I'm sure you'll love the rest of the headlines, because Gia's G-Man with the latest when it comes to all things sport.
Thank you so much, my friend. Let's start with, well, it's all good news pretty much this morning, but let's jump off with rugby. And the Vodacom United Rugby Championship quarter-final fixture list is locked in. That was after a thrilling final pool round where the SA teams shone. So the Bulls crushed Dragons 55-15 to seal second place, and they'll be hosting Edinburgh as a result. The Sharks, they needed this one. They'll place third with their 12-3 win over Scarlets, and they're going to face Munster in Durban. They're going to need that home ground fan base advantage. Then, of course, the Stormers finishing fifth. They meet beat Glasgow away, while top-ranked Leinster, they will be hosting Scarlets. And then, of course, the Lions, well, they ended on a high, albeit placing 11th. They had a 29-28 win over the Ospreys to underpin how much growth they've experienced over the last couple of years. Now, speaking of moments in time and moments in sport, this is a one-of-a-kind. Crystal Palace stunned Manchester City 1-0 in the FA Cup final at Wembley yesterday, securing their first major trophy in the club's 120-year history. That is incredible. Eberechi Eze netting the winner in the 16th minute, while Dean Henderson, he saved a penalty from Omar Mamouche to get the job done. The victory also earns Palace a spot in next season's Europa League and, of course, the prize purse that comes with that. Now we turn to the African connection. Kgomalemo Kakana's spectacular long-range strike secured Amajita a 1-0 win and their first ever under-20 AFCON title. So his 70th minute goal, confirmed by VAR in the end, broke the deadlock against, it must be said, a very disciplined Moroccan side. And it marked South Africa's first win over such opposition in the tournament and their first final appearance since 1997, making them the 12th nation to lift the trophy. Congratulations, boys. Now, we were expecting a bit of spice in Formula One this weekend, and Max Verstappen provided it. He won a thrilling Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, holding off McLaren, the duo, in fact, of Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, for his fourth Imola victory. So the Red Bull star, he passed pole sitter Piastri on lap 1 and then maintained the lead throughout. And Lewis Hamilton also impressed with a charge to fourth for Ferrari. And despite finishing third, Piastri still leads that championship with 146 points. Thrilling sport. I think we need to dive a little deeper. Lorenzo Daris, our sports producer, steps in to chat a little bit URC and what it means for the SA teams in just a moment. But right now, let's see how the roads are waking up in your neck of the woods.
Thank you, G-Man. Well, let's check out the roads out in Gauteng, Johannesburg, where there is a bi-directional protest action taking place along the N1 in Diepkloof interchange. Now, heavy delays are expected with the back of queue currently at Miskant interchange. So please make use of alternative routes and exercise extra caution when passing through the affected area. From the City of Gold, we move to the Mother City out in Kales River, where motorists making use of the R300 northbound can expect minor delays as a result of congestion. So if you're headed out that way, make use of your headlights and maintain a safe following distance. Well, that is where we leave your roads. Let's see what's happening in your weather. Well, in your very cold weather news, South Africans should prepare for icy conditions this week as 2 cold fronts move in from today until Friday. Now, the South African Weather Service says these systems will hit coastal areas of the Western, Eastern and Northern Cape within 48 hours, sending temperatures plummeting inland from Wednesday. Rough seas, strong coastal and interior winds, as well as potential snow in high-lying areas are expected. The heavy rain may lead to flooding in the Western Cape from tomorrow, and the public is urged to monitor updates via official weather channels. Let's get into that sunrise view of the hour to heat you up after the cold, and sent from Garth out in Cape Town. Thank you so much, Garth, for this beautiful morning view. A little bit mysterious because I can't quite place where this is, but let me tell you that that iciness is definitely being translated through the screen. I'm hoping that this is on your morning walk, getting in those steps on this Monday morning, Garth. Thank you so much. And on your side of town, 19 degrees is what you can expect and will be rewarded with. So make sure that you have a stunning, stunning Monday. And continue sharing your morning views with us on 063-036-9649 as we delve into your temperatures for the rest of the country. settling in as autumn is right with us as a country. We're in this together, okay? And something that's definitely going to cheer you up and maybe make Monday unforgettable is if you play Daily Lotto for an estimated 400,000 Rand jackpot today and find out. Now, buy your tickets now in store. I'm pretty sure some of them are opening on nationallottery.co.za. That's the website. There's a mobile app, there is cell phone banking, or you could simply just dial *120 *7529#. And that, of course, is for USSD. Now, all these details are on our Expresso social media pages. Check them out at Expresso Show and then get yourself in the running to win big with the Daily Lotto jackpot estimated at 400,000 Rand. It could be yours, but the only way to find out is if you play right now. And I need to know what else is coming up on the show so we can enjoy this together, Expresso fam. So, Graham, over to you.
Sure. I like that little move there, hey? And yes, I was trying to imitate rugby in some way, shape or form. Why? Because we are through, 3 of our teams through to the URC quarterfinals. Who's got a home ground advantage? Who is going to take this tournament? It's going to be a tough one. I'm so sorry for the Lions. They played brilliantly again, but just didn't make it through. Who did? We'll find out in a moment. Then Chris always teases me because I get all like, oh, and gush over the rugby legends. Well, she gets her turn. She connects with one of our greatest, undoubtedly, the incredible Breyton Paulse, about his story and turning rugby and sport into an actual legacy so that it matters. And he's the right man for the job. We'll see you now.
The Defender Awards are incredibly important in helping to shine a spotlight on the amazing work of some incredible individuals.
When you are an organization or a team doing something great to get funding of your project, it is really important.
Charities need initiatives like this to make a difference in the work they're involved in.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Let's talk a little rugger. The final round of URC League action delivered some high stakes, but no major surprises. The Stormers head to Glasgow. That's going to be a tough draw. The Sharks, they'll be hosting Munster. They're going to need that. And the Bulls, who have been sublime, they locked in second place with a big win to secure Loftus home advantage. And it is an advantage. I can see and hear the affirmations coming from Lorenzo Darius, our Expresso sports content producer. He had a chat about the URC, but can I quickly just talk football just for 5 seconds and say congratulations?
What is it, Spurs or Manchester United?
No, we haven't spoken about Spurs all year, dude, and I'm going to continue on that trend. Our under-20, just shining, man. You must be just mind blown.
I am elated at the moment. The under-20s, we just mentioned this off-air as well. They've been under the radar. A lot of people have not been following this. They've qualified now for the under-20 World Cup, FIFA World Cup as well. They now the African champions. Bafana's in a good place. 18 games, unbeaten. No one else is close to us at the moment. SA football on the
In a
rise.
very good place. And you can
Mamelodi Sundowns, Club World Cup coming up as well. So amazing space.
I'm going to say well done to Pirates for informing all of that, because I think the chasing pack have made the difference. No, I'm not even joking. I think the local football scene has been amazing
It's
this
amazing.
year. So kudos to everyone. All right, so well done, Abhijita. We absolutely love you boys. Let's talk URC. No major shocks or surprises, or am I wrong there? How are you feeling about final round?
I must say that Glasgow did me a little bit dirty this weekend. Would have loved for them to have, actually won. Should they have won their match against Leinster, then the Stormers would have played the Sharks at home, or at least they would have been travelling to Durban. That would have been a 59,000 sold-out match.
Yeah, I get you.
I can guarantee that.
Good for rugby.
Sia would have left South America immediately from the wedding that he's at the moment. And you would have then had so many Springboks, literally about 80 to 90% of the Springboks in one place. Again, we saw that earlier this year with that sold-out match, and that would have been a good testament for SA Rugby.
And also validation for us choosing, backing this horse, so to speak. So I get that completely. And when we look at the teams who did shine, can we just heap more praise on the Bulls, who have just been phenomenal? Are they your winners this year?
Look, the thing is, it could possibly be. I think that, it's really not nice to mention it again, but Cornell Hendricks passing away. Massive loss to SA Rugby itself. My love goes to his family and the Boland Cavaliers. They've just qualified for the Currie Cup after about 16 years.
Wow.
With him coming back. But just a few months ago, he was still part of the Bulls outfit. He was still a Bulls player. And I've never seen Jake White cry before. And this week we saw, or last week we saw it, and it was really sad. They went out there determined to give Cornell something to smile about. He's playing the best rugby upstairs.
In honour of the way that he played rugby as well. And they've seemed to have captured that within the structures, but also within the freedom that they give their players to be able to express themselves.
And if you look at the match that they played this weekend, 4 tries in the first half, 26-0. They were driving.
They were on it,
There was cohesion between the forward pack and the backs that I've never seen in a long time. These boys played with so much freedom, and they had determination. And that's what I loved. Like, I was watching this match and I was like, am I a Bull supporter?
Listen, buddy, when your tights are charging down the line at like 11-second, 100 meters pace, it's a different team at the moment.
Definitely.
Massive, and of course they get home ground advantage, which for them is huge.
Yeah, and then just a shout out to friend of the show as well, Namak Naba, man of the match.
Well
what
done,
a comeback for him as well. He was absolutely amazing. Loved seeing that he was just playing with so much freedom, but that whole team was playing with so much freedom, and they enjoyed themselves.
And Nama's such a lovely guy, and I think he kind of felt like maybe he had missed his shot, and I think it's still coming in a very big way. All right, so dominating there. The Sharks get their home ground, obviously not the opponents you wanted, because Munster are a beast. But at home, does that make a difference for the Sharks? Because they haven't exactly been the most consistent team this year.
We're still trying to figure out, Like, you can look at what happened with the Lions and the Stormers at the beginning of the season. The Lions were flying high. They were finding their pace. They were finding their voice. And they kind of lost it and then kind of fell down. The Stormers, on the other hand, worst start that we've ever seen because of so many players injured, then made it back. The Sharks, we just don't know what's going on at the moment. Are players playing individual or are they playing as a team? Because there's so many Springboks there.
That being said, they're a quarterfinal team with a home ground advantage, and they have a way of things falling into place at the right time, which is very Springbok of them, and I have a feeling it might play out like that. So are you confident, though, in the Sharks having Munster at home? Maybe that's a good way to frame it.
I think that if we get, with Sia being back and the Springboks and all the guys playing, they were given off, some of them were given off this weekend. Should they get everything in place and play that gritty rugby that we know, the Sharks are going to take it by probably 2 to 3 points.
Okay, so
Right,
it'll be
very
tough.
tight.
I think it's going to be like that across the board.
It's going to be test match. It's going to be test match rugby. The Bulls are through. They're going through all the way through to the semi-finals. It's the Stormers I'm worried about.
Why so? What do they get when they come up against the Glasgow Warriors on the road? What does that mean for the Stormers team?
Defending champions. The thing is, our away record has not been that great. However,
well, for all the teams.
Well, I think for the Stormers,
most,
it's been a little bit different when we look at the season. However, I'm quite excited to see what's going to happen with Sasha Feinberg and Gomezulu, Mani Lebok, Damian Willemse, Warwick Gelant, the four of them. As Suleiman Hotzenberg as well, Lilian Zas. Let me not take away from the other players.
These are individual playmakers, which is amazing, and you've got them all gelling beautifully within the system at the moment.
And I think that it's going to be, they're going to have to dig deep. We've got a little bit of a break because there's European rugby coming up this weekend. So let's hope that Dobbo gets all of those, those video sessions and gym sessions in so that they can plan everything. I won't take it away from us to just steal it at the end, but it's going to be a tough one. We're going to have to dig deep.
Hey, but that's the South African way. Dig deep when it matters most. So, of course, the Stormers kick us off against the Warriors on the 30th, on the Friday evening. Then the remainder of the quarterfinal fixtures on the 31st of May. 3 South African franchises through, playing some beautiful champagne rugby to get there, and that's what we want to see. Lorenzo, enjoy it, man.
Amazing.
Dream year. The football tick that box. The rugby tick that
Cricket
box.
almost soon,
Yeah, it's coming, man, and a lot more prize money. We'll talk about that tomorrow, maybe. But absolutely beautiful. Wherever your allegiances lie, well done, South African teams in the URC. Very good.
Lorenzo, all you need to do is sort out that Europa League game, my friend. Lots of pressure coming your way. But we'll talk about that in just a bit for now, though. Let's talk about some other superstars, and especially when it comes to our athletes, because we've got legends, current and past, and so many to celebrate.
Incredible. And ABSA don't just back stories, they also back the people who turn purpose into legacy. Because when sports meets purpose, it has the ability to move more than just the scoreboard.
Absolutely. Now, this fine lady right here did something inspiring. And she joined an inspiring event where rugby legend Breyton Paulse shared his powerful journey of resilience, grit, and absolute purpose. I think we all need to take a look at this one. Get inspired.
From iconic sports moments to championing community fitness, ABSA is at the heart of it all. And tonight we shine the brightest spotlight on ABSA Run Your City and also catch up with an absolute sporting legend to find out a bit more about his legacy, his leadership, and also how he keeps moving in 2025. So let's go. I want to talk about the legacy of the 10 years, the decade that Run Your City has been around. What's your take on this, and what is a highlight that you can look back on?
We are pretty excited about this, and Cape Town happens to be the celebration for the 10 years, part of a really important legacy. But we're excited about the gears along the way, great highlights. I mean, increase in numbers, great participation, the different types of runners and walkers and crawlers. Some of us are crawlers, but we really enjoy the race and are always so excited to be part of it every single year. And that's what it's all about. That's the impact that we make. That's the feeling we like getting when it comes to anything that talks to Force for Good, the impact it makes to the community and just the greater series in general.
Now, you are very involved in the ABSA Run Your City series, and you've seen it come and go throughout the years. What's been a highlight for you?
Just the number of people that participate in the ABSA Run Your City series across the 5 cities in South Africa. We start in Gqeberha in April. May, we're in the Mother City on Mother's Day. Then in July, we're in Durban. And in August, we're in the nation's capital, Tshwane. We end things off on Heritage Day, 24th of September, at the ABSA Run Your City Joburg 10K. And it is about excitement, about joy, about a celebration of the cities and getting people back into the cities and enjoying the city centre. But it's also about world-class performances. We have athletes coming in and running fast times. So I think that's what makes it special, the marriage of high performance and lots of high-octane fun.
Talk to me a bit more about what impact you hope will come of this, hosting events with influential people like Breyton Paulse.
So he has a brilliant story, just where he's come from, his upbringing, things that have been important to him, and how he grew up and how he even got to where he is at the moment. Truly, truly inspiring for us.
We were kind of, doing the farm life like it should be. Because at the time, the cycle on the farm was you go to school, And once you finish the trip, you go in the farm. At some point in the trip, the farmer called me in. And then he said to me, here's the deal. I'm going to give you an opportunity to go to Stellenbosch University. That day changed my life. I think my story, the emphasis must be on somebody saw an opportunity in me, or he saw my potential. I didn't even know I had those potential.
Breyton, he's one of a very few of the elite which has really humbled himself. And you can attach your own story to that, bearing in mind that your story matters, no matter how small and how minute it might be.
Well, it's the one and only, the legend in the flesh, Mr. Breyton Paulse. When it comes to a moment in your career that you reflect back on with so much fondness, do you have a moment?
When I became a Springbok, because, I had to come so many obstacles and battles to get to that point, to play for my country, and got the call up was absolutely everything in my life. It meant so much to me, and it was always a privilege to put on the green and gold.
There are so many young, aspiring, both men and women who want to be a sports star like you. Do you have just a word of advice for them?
Yeah, I think, first of all, you need discipline. With discipline, you need to sacrifice a lot of stuff, because if you have your eye on the goal, you need little moments or little goals to get the bigger goal.
I would echo that 100%. How important do you think it is for younger sports stars, especially when it comes to opportunity, for ABSA to be in these communities?
I think it's fantastic what ABSA is doing in the communities, and we all know that the need is so big out there for kids to play sport. And we've seen with the Springboks or netball or football or cricket that sometimes, coming out of those difficult circumstances, sport gives you hope. So for me, make sure that you also always enjoy in what you do. Doesn't matter whether it's sports or culture or arts, enjoy what you do, and you never know what might come onto your road.
Breyton's story just matters so much, and I'm so glad that ABSA could shine a bright spotlight on this. And it really just inspires me to know that, my story matters too, regardless of the background that I come from. I can make such a difference in my community and for my community. From the star players on the field to the partners behind the scene, today's event has proved that anything is possible when passion meets purpose. A huge thank you to our friends over at ABSA for always shining a beautiful spotlight on the stories that truly matter. Sheesh, and I can tell you to this day, I'm still incredibly inspired by Breyton. What a man, what a legend.
Absolutely. Can I say you look divine in red? I love that on you. You were full on red carpet, but more so the importance of stories like these, which remind us why sport is such a powerful connector. And I want to say a big thanks to ABSA for championing moments that inspire movement both on the track and in our communities. Something to definitely celebrate.
Stylish and super functional. I love every detail in our own bespoke kitchen. Of course, we spend a lot of time in this beautiful space and it inspires us to cook, and we want you to be equally inspired, which is why Easy Life Kitchens are literally giving away a kitchen. It's a kitchen makeover valued at 450,000 rand. That is insane, and it's a lot easier to get there than you think. We'll give you all of those details in just a moment. Then the big news in the financial papers and front pages. Budget 3.0 is upon us. What does it mean? What does it mean to us, to our pockets? We've invited in some friends to have a little chat to ask those exact questions. So please, you can hit the socials right now. If you've got any questions pertaining to Budget 3.0, just like the rest of us, weigh in. We'll start that conversation now.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we talk finances and how, I suppose, the tire hits the tar. What does a bigger picture mean for us in our smaller picture, our very small little pockets at the moment? Back in April, our team unpacked the shock announcement that the proposed VAT increase from 15% to 15.5% had been officially scrapped. Now, that reversal, hailed by many as a win for consumer relief at least, came after mounting political pressure and court intervention, in fact. But just 3 weeks later, South Africans are being handed a new challenge in the form of Budget 3.0. I have not done a deep dive, and I cannot wait to find out more. The revised version of the national budget isn't just a tweak. It's in fact a complete reworking of the previous proposal, scrapped by the courts for failing to follow due parliamentary process. Now, with a 75 billion rand revenue hole still looming large, government now faces the pressure of balancing its books without driving South Africans further into financial strain. That was the most underwhelming way of describing it. So what does this new version of the budget mean for our monthly expenses, whether it's the cost of petrol, electricity, just groceries, or even tax? Is this version of the budget more citizen-focused or just a cosmic reshuffle? Well, joining us to break it all down and answer those questions, a strong panel of voices. Vanna Rousseau, a wealth manager with PPS Wealth Advisory, alongside Ronaldo Fellar and Zahra Schroeder, both fresh voices on the incredible platform Good Hope FM. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Sorry, that was quite a long preamble. That's my little brain trying to understand what's going on here. Vanna, maybe let's start with you. And I know we don't have a huge amount of time, but if you could talk about the big shift here, what has changed? Because it feels like quite a lot in budget version 3.0.
Yeah, so third time lucky. I think the first one...
That's where you can leave it, actually.
Yeah,
that's fine, done.
With the first one, they wanted a 2% VAT increase. That didn't even make it to Parliament, never got to vote on it. The second time, there was a 0.5% increase, then another 0.5% in a year's time. The DA actually challenged them in court, and they had an out-of-court settlement. So yeah, now we've got a 75 billion deficit, which we have to make up somehow. And that is what Minister Enoch Godongwana will then table in Parliament on Wednesday.
So we watch with bated breath. Just on the tax front, could we expect something? Because I suppose we have now proven that we can shift and change on a dime. So could we see the tax conversation coming up back in sin tax? How are they going to get this money?
The problem is there's such a small base now to try and get it from. So we don't have an income problem in South Africa. We've got an expenditure problem. So it sounds like that Godongwana on Wednesday would say that there will be a 60 billion cuts in expenses, which we've been hoping for quite some time. So, but definitely they'll have to look at sin taxes, they have to look at income tax. Something like the fuel levy hasn't been increased since 2022, so there might be some leeway for him to work on that.
I like the way you said that. And you're trying to sound positive and happy about all of this. Change can be terrifying, but I think we need change. Ronaldo, that's the bottom line here. It's tough out there. Where do you feel the most pressure as a young South African when you think of petrol, when you think of electricity, when you think of just filling your basket in a grocery shop? Where are the pressure points for you?
I mean, come on, load shedding is seeming relatively stable for now, till like August. Fuel prices are seeing a bit of a decrease by a couple of cents, but electricity, I feel like that's where the danger lies.
I was on my landlord, I'm like, dude, and he's like, no, look at everyone else's guy, it's not just me.
But also basic mobility exercises like getting to classes or getting to work on time or maybe just entertaining a side hustle. It's become a bit unaffordable. I don't know if the Budget 3.0 provides enough structural backbone for young professionals, and I feel like that is what we need to question. Is there support? Is there going to be generational wealth for us? Those are the questions that are stuck in my brain and where I'm currently at with all the struggles happening with electricity, fuel, and of course the other things.
Then maybe I can put it back to you. Do you see those dots being connected here? When we talk about the bigger picture, we often forget about the smaller picture pressure on people. Do you feel like those kinds of pressures are being taken into account, or are we just trying to literally balance the books here in terms of the immediate pressure?
I think it's just survival at this stage. Everyone's just trying to survive, So whether it's on the small or on the big, you're just trying to survive at this stage.
And everyone is feeling the pinch on the top of the pile, right down to those of us trying to do everything every day. Zahra, when you get an immediate, because you've got almost the canary in the mine of young people connecting with you every every day, and you feel that. What is the feeling out there at the moment?
I must say a lot of people are very concerned, slightly confused as well. I think a lot of young people want to see decisive leadership. I think it says something when you have to come around a third time around with the budget. It almost sows a little bit of doubt that people think, you know, is this something that's not serious to our government, or our livelihoods not taken seriously enough? And I think a lot of people are also confused with what is so difficult having to come up with a national budget. Is this not your job?
Yeah, and I like the way you're nodding your head, because I know it might seem like we're oversimplifying here, but I can grossly oversimplify. Sometimes you get economy first, then politics. Sometimes you get politics first, then economy. How does this feel to you? Does this feel like there could be a positive shift coming if we get through this gateway in the right way?
Yeah, the lines are very blurred between politics and economy, like you say. Yeah, I think in the short term, if we can just, in the short term at least, there's some relief with the VAT increase not happening. But we have to close those gaps somehow in the long term. So in the short term, less stressed, but I'm worried about the long term. That's what we have to start thinking about.
So, Ronaldo, this says to me then we need maybe more agency to start looking after ourselves. What does that look like to you? How do you motivate yourself set against this kind of economic backdrop, if you will? So much focus on young South Africans being the heart and soul driving business.
Yes.
Where does that motivation come from, though, when you aren't seeing the overarching kind of protection or matrix being created for you?
I mean, I think it's just knowing and carrying the notion that if the budget tightens at the top, it normally trickles down harshly to the youth. But then you should know, change your mind. It is now the time to become financially literate, a bit more vocal about what you need, and a bit more innovative, because I feel like the world is your oyster. We can literally do anything. So that is how I feel, and that is the notion that's sitting in my center, you know? Yeah.
Zachary, you've often got to kind of create the emotional conversation around this, and money, as you would understand, whether you have $1 billion in the bank or nothing, or maybe you're missing $1 billion, it's an emotional equation, very much so. What kind of conversation do you lead when speaking about finances at the moment? What do you want to say to other young South Africans that might be feeling despondent about maybe the uncertainty, let's call it?
I think the most difficult thing for a lot of young people is that we oftentimes work very, very hard for our money. Sometimes we sacrifice our weekends, our holidays, our public holidays, just to earn that little bit of extra. And sometimes we feel like we deserve to splurge on ourselves. But this isn't the time also to forgo your needs. Now we need to be frugal fun. In a way, you know, instead of going to buy it out, we got it at home. And this time we need to convince ourselves and actually prepare for things to have at home. You know, instead of all the takeaways, we're making it at home. Instead of going out and spending lots of money, let's enjoy our free parks. Let's go to all the beautiful beaches that we have. It's frugal fun.
Is there a pocket-sized version of you that I can keep with me for the rest of today? Just maybe like Lamini cricket, just put you on my shoulder. Frugal fun. Is this frugal fun, Graham? Is this frugal fun? Bless you for navigating these waters at the moment. I think at the moment, a lot of people within the financial sectors left scratching their heads, yes, but we've got a big wait now. We're going to wait to find out exactly what this means moving forward. On Wednesday, you said we will get the next update. Budget 3.0. Clearly, we are shifting gears dramatically, but there could be positives therein if you follow that kind of mindset. Look for the opportunity and keep the fun frugal.
Frugal fun shall be had, and especially when it comes to our incredible panel who are not going anywhere. So let me extend a thank you to our panel, but also a thank you to our handy heroes. And you know, so this week on our handy heroes, we are heading to Buco Walker Drive in Berga. And this is where the DIY pros spill the truth about their go-to products. And we're talking about Plascon Valvaglow, the non-drip enamel. So the question really is, why do you love it? I mean, it's bathroom tough, it's kitchen ready, and it's an absolute essential for anyone who takes their DIY seriously, just like me. So here's a pro tip of the week. Before you grab that brush, why not prep like a pro? Because the secret to a smooth, flawless finish is all in the groundwork. And if you want to know more, well, I think it's time for us to take a dive and see just how the pros do it.
Powered by Plascon, today's handy heroes come from Buco Walker Drive in Port Elizabeth.
The store's been here for about 8 years now. We're a Buco, so we're really a hardware store. So we sell an entire range of product. Our clientele vary from large contractors to small contractors to anybody. You come in, you want to do the work, that's fine. What makes me proud of the store is our offering and our relationship with our customers, and on the other side with our suppliers, because without them the two don't work. What do we love about our customers? Well, they're fantastic people. Everybody that comes into the store, they've always got something to tell us. If we get involved and we ask them why, when, where, how, what are they doing, then it's nice, it's interactions. We're always the best. Again, it comes back to the service, it comes back to the staff. The staff that we have, great people, they'll give you all the advice. We're also kind of a one-stop shop, so we try to give the client everything that he needs.
We're the best hardware shop to buy a Plascon. Plascon, it's a big range and it's a very good paint. And the finish is very good.
Plascon products are a fantastic brand. So people know it, they know what products are available, and they come in seeking those products from us. My favorite Plascon product is Velvet Glow, which is an enamel product. So you'd use it in kitchens and bathrooms ultimately, but it's also very much a DIY-based product.
The advice I can give you before you're doing the paint is a preparation. The preparation is very important.
Today's Handy Heroes is powered by Plascon Wall and All. Unmatched dirt, stain, water and fade resistance to keep your walls beautiful for years. Plascon. Together, we've got this.
Inspiration comes in so many ways, and I've got to say shout out all the way from PE Becha, doing the most and giving us every reason to sort out any DIY needs, and especially when it comes to elevating spaces. Now, one space for me that I think needs an elevation every season, and it's so easy to do so, is the kitchen. And I mean, look at this one, right?
We spend so much time in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I've recently upped my culinary game.
seen
So,
this.
you know,
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
I'm thinking, you know, the space needs to match the skill upskill. So I definitely love what we've got going here. I noticed, though, I can't be slamming cupboards anymore, Ryle, because the soft close.
So proud of you noticing soft close handles. On top of this, we've got like a nice shutter style, but juxtapositioned with our beautiful chrome and sort of brass finishes. And these are terms, if you don't know about, that we've got to learn about, because we are so excited to help you do the following. Turn your dream kitchen into reality. And if your dream is looking anything like this, then pay attention, because Easy Life Kitchens is giving away a stunning makeover worth 450,000 Rand. And this is complete with Caesar stone countertops and 50,000 Rand in installation costs covered by ABSA. And this is your chance to cook up something amazing.
You want that
perfect top? Come on now.
This
We're
is
waiting for you.
excited. Now you can walk away with a show-stopping design kitchen crafted with premium finishes and also built to impress everybody that you bring over. It is saying luxury, reimagined, and it could actually be yours.
Yeah, it really could. Now, I know a lot of you want to get involved, so this is how you do it, right? To enter, visit one of the 43 Easy Life Kitchen showrooms, and that's across South Africa. Then what you want to do is scan the QR code on display, take a selfie in your favorite kitchen display, complete the online entry form in store, and then upload your picture. It really is that simple.
Oh my goodness, make sure your camera is clean when you do it, okay? We actually want to see you. Plus, if you are an existing ABSA client, listen to this, you'll automatically qualify for another entry. And therefore, you'll have 2 entries into the competition. Come on.
Need this, man, because come on, dreams are about to come to life here, so don't miss out. This is the kitchen giveaway, which ends on the 30th of June. And a reminder to visit easylifekitchens.co.za today to find your nearest showroom so you can do the things. Find that QR code, get involved in the competition, and reminder that the T's and C's can be found on easylifekitchens.co.za. Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. All the best of luck there. We've been warming up and getting ridiculously excited as he's been warming up his voice. Paris is going to be performing for you after the break. Your day will begin officially. In fact, your life will re-begin after you see this performance. He is sounding absolutely exquisite. And we are trying to come to terms with the budget 3.0. What does it mean for us, the man on the street? What does it mean for our tax brackets? What does it mean for the middle class that seems to be stretching more and more middle? We are going to delve into some of those important questions with a brilliant panel looking at it from the consumer's perspective. And of course, what does it mean within finance? We'll start that or rejoin that conversation after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we continue to talk VAT. Yes, it is VAT conversation. Since the VAT reversal in April, the question hasn't been if the government will try to recoup lost revenue, but how? And with the release of Budget 3.0 on the 21st of May, the focus now shifts squarely to middle-income earners, people who earn just enough to be taxed, but too little to absorb the constant financial pressure. Oh man, it's a difficult lane to be in between the bracket creep, rising interest rates and the persistent cost of living crisis. And it is a crisis. Many middle-class South Africans, I think, feeling squeezed from all sides. Add in responsibilities like supporting extended families who haven't quite been able to get off the ground, trying to build generational wealth. The cracks start to show. So we've got a great panel here. Ronaldo, Shanaz and Banner joining us too. Zahra, sorry. You do embody someone that we love on the show. We've been joking about it off air, but destined for great things. But I'm going to talk to you now. We're going to delve back in with tax. Tax brackets, where does that sit right now? We joke about kind of being in that middle lane, but what does that lane look like now?
So what happens is they call it bracket creep. So your income increases by inflation, hopefully, and then you're automatically in a next tax bracket. But the brackets are not adjusted for inflation. So it's a silent tax that they actually could get without you really knowing it, a silent tax hike.
And will we see that? How do you see that dynamic playing out in where we are right now?
Yeah, so on Wednesday, in the previous Budget 2.0, there was no speak of bracket creep. So with this one, we'll see. We'll see on Wednesday.
What is your feeling?
Probably there's some leeway where they can get a few rand extra to fill this extra 75 billion gap. So there is definitely leeway.
I like the way we all say 75 billion. It was just a little something. We just got to anyone hand around a hat, we can do it. Are we going to see the other areas, things like medical aid, pension, where there are big financial vehicles that can be attacked in this to find that 75 billion? Do we think there's going to be more pressure in those spaces, in those structures?
Yeah, specifically with talk of NHI, they've been talking about medical tax credits for some time. That's 30 billion rand that actually contributes to the budget. So if they scrap that, that's 364 rand per month for an adult medical aid member and 260 rand for a dependent. So that's for me as a one-man family, that will be 4,400 rand a year less in my pocket. And that comes to 30 billion, which already helps a bit. So there's a lot of talk on that, and we'll hear on Wednesday. Yeah, with retirement annuities, I mean, the 350,000 taxes has been like that for years. Like I said earlier, the fuel levies hasn't been increased since 2022. So there is scope in these smaller taxes.
And I think you will see the shake-up across the board in that. So brace yourself, prepare yourself. Ronaldo,
yes.
You know, feeding off what we were talking about a moment ago, when there are so many barriers set for you before you've, all due respect, really started your financial journey, how is this affecting young professionals? Is this do we stay at home for the first 10 years of our young professional life? Like, what does it look like now to be able to deal with the cost, the inflation, the lack of support financially? How demotivating is that when you're trying to start your financial journey?
I feel like you're speaking to my soul. I'm living the story. But I think that many young professionals is going or navigating a path what I can call a financial identity crisis. I mean, there's bracket creep for people that earn above the tax threshold, but then there's debt repayments for young professionals needing debt, you know, to buy other things as well. But those...
To study.
Yes, it's becoming brutally expensive. And then I think just the emotional toll that the unsurety we carry, it's not great. So I think with the revised budget and the limited structural supports, I hate to say that, but it's kind of like a message saying that we are figuring it out, but you're kind of on your own right now, you know?
In a weird way, as an entrepreneur, that might not be a bad place to be. To have a big challenge thrown in front of you and a lot of anxiety, that's often what inspires the best financial new products to come out into the market. Zachary, you seem to have a really balanced view on life. And I love what you said about our frugal fund, but that speaks to the fact that you have now taken responsibility for your situation. You're not waiting for your parents or someone else to send that message. So how does your budgeting look? It's one thing to say, I'm going to make good decisions in the moment, but you need a structure. So how do you go about budgeting every month? How do you kind of prepare yourself for this uncertainty?
Okay, this is not financial advice. This is just what I do.
This is called human advice, and it's
Human
great,
advice.
okay?
But honestly, if I don't see it, I'm less likely to spend it. So I try and really hide my money away. I actually have 2 separate accounts, and I put all of my saving money into that other account, and I never open it unless it comes to really, really big emergencies, or maybe that end of the month comes and we still need some groceries, and then I'll maybe use of it. But as long as I don't see it and I don't know how much is going on there, then I'm less likely to spend on unnecessary things.
How do you feel about debt? Credit cards, store accounts? Because we need to build a financial profile, but can we pay back that debt? Most South Africans can't.
Definitely not. I do think you need to be very, very smart about how you use debt. When it comes to credit cards, for example, it's not free money. It is money that you have to pay back. But also, if you become responsible with it, if you become an adult with it now, these are great skills that we are learning now in our youth that essentially
Completely. And I want to say to both of you not to be disparaging. You know, what you're feeling now, this financially related anxiety just ramps up when you have kids and family. And so this is great training. No, I like the fact that you are so in the moment and present. Vanna, thank you so much for being the voice that you are right now. I know still so many questions until Wednesday. So we'll watch that space, and I have a feeling you're going to be back in within a week to help us unpack what Budget 3.0 means for us. We're now getting into the nuance of it, but at least as a part of that conversation, we are able to make the links between how it affects us in our everyday, our fuel, our electricity, our studies. But I think what I'm most interested in, the solutions that could be revealed if young people like this keep applying themselves. So thank you so much for your voices this morning. Inspire us. Come on, give us the next big financial product.
I hope you were talking to me there, because I'm bringing all the inspiration right now. Well, not me, this gentleman standing right next to me, because taken to the stage right now to perform an incredible track, and this comes off his debut album. It's called Indimbani Yazizwe. We have Paris Sibulokulu Lamini. Please take it away.
This is Indimbani Yazizwe, and it means basically it addresses the social illnesses, speaks to Africans to stand firm, stand up, and just make sure that you talk without any violence, any riots. Just be firm about what you want, and just speak about unity, speak about humanity. It features Ndabo Zulu on trumpets from my debut album, Ingoma Busuku.
Kuluma na nini nazi. Sikuluma nawe Belinda. Kuluma. Kulumani. 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 Kulumani we. Kulumani. Kulumani Africa. Kulumani. Kulumani Africa. Kulumani. Kulumani Africa. Como se suena Belusi. Sí, como se suena Belusi, ma. Makalene, Makalene. Kuluma zizwe simnyama. Kuluma dlemnyama. Sifunikate. Kulumani. Kulumani ma-Afrika. Kulumani. Kulumani ma-Afrika. Kulumani. Kulumani ma-Afrika.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is exactly 8 o'clock, so we are bang on time to get into our news for the final time this morning. Let's start here in South Africa, where Nampo Harvest Week 2025 ended with a united call for urgent investment in South Africa's agricultural future. Held in Bothaville in the Free State, the event brought together farmers, business leaders and government officials, including the President and Deputy President, underpinning how important this conversation is. As population demands and climate change strain resources, participants stressed the need for innovation and collaboration to boost food production. The gathering also promoted intra-African trade and highlighted agriculture's critical role in the economy. Nampo 2025 underscored the sector's importance for poverty alleviation, for job creation and long-term national health. Now we stay in South Africa, where SASSA has warned beneficiaries against false claims circulating on social media about a double grant payment in June and changes to pension rules. So the agency confirmed that the only increases were those announced by Treasury in March this year, effective in April this year, with the next increase due only in October of 2025. It dismissed reports of pension rule changes from the 10th of June and urged recipients to rely only on official communication. SASSA reiterated that gold cards will remain valid beyond the 31st of May this year and called on the public to avoid sharing unverified grant-related information, please. Now, we cast a wider net on the international news front. The World Bank has approved a $350 million grant for Malawi's Mtamanga hydropower storage project, expected to double the nation's power generation, with the total cost exceeding $1.5 billion. This public-private partnership marks Malawi's largest foreign direct investment. The project, led by a consortium including EDF and Total Energies, will supply electricity to over 1 million households and create thousands of jobs in its construction as well. And constructing the 2 dams along the Shire River, the facility will significantly boost Malawi's energy and security and industrial potential. Now we head a little further afield. Israel will allow basic food supplies into Gaza after a 10-week blockade, aiming to avert famine amid intensified military operations. The shift follows expanded ground offensives and strikes, including one on a northern hospital. Gaza's health ministry reports over 60 deaths in the last 24 hours and warns 3 hospitals are now non-operational. And as humanitarian conditions continue to deteriorate, ceasefire negotiations persist in Qatar. Israel insists any deal must include hostage releases, Hamas's exile and Gaza's disarmament, while continuing its campaign dubbed Operation Gideon's Chariot. And finally, Austria's 24-year-old counter-tenor, JJ, clinched victory, or counter-tenor rather, by the name of JJ, clinched victory at the famed Eurovision 2025 in Basel with his genre-defying track, Wasted Love, a techno-opera fusion, if you will, that dazzled both jurors and audiences. This is real Eurovision stuff here. The competition was fierce, with Israel's Yuval Raphael securing second place, though a powerful public vote coming to bear there. And the grand final was a spectacle of creativity featuring Estonia's Tommy Cash serenading a giant coffee cup and Armenia's mud-covered dancer. The event-themed Welcome Home showcased Switzerland's rich cultural heritage through innovative stage designs and traditional elements like even yodeling and alphorns. You can start looking that up on Google. Despite some political tensions surrounding Israel's participation in the contest, celebrated unity and musical diversity, with JJ's win marking Austria's 3rd Eurovision win. And that's where we leave our news for now. Ryle's going to get into the sport.
Thank you so much, G-Man. And yes, let's dive into sport one last time, and starting with rugby news. Now, the Vodacom United Rugby Championship quarter-final fixtures are locked, and they are in after a thrilling final pool round. Now, the Blue Bulls crushed the Dragons 55-15 to seal second place and will host Edinburgh. Now, the Sharks, third after a 12-3 win over Scarlets, face Munster in Durban, and the Stormers, ending off in 5th, meet Glasgow away, while top-ranked Leinster host the Scarlets. Now, the Lions ended up on 11th despite a 29-28 win over the Ospreys. Well, definitely looking forward to those matches, but we looked forward to the weekend and it delivered when it comes to football, because Crystal Palace stunned Manchester City 1-0 in the FA Cup final at Wembley, securing their first major trophy in the club's 120-year history. Now, Eberechi Eze netted the winner in the 16th minute, while Dean Henderson saved a penalty from Omar Momush. Now, the victory also earns Palace a spot in next season's Europa League. Congratulations all around. But we're going to stick to football right now, and Gomolemo Kekana's spectacular long-range strike secured Amajita a 1-0 win and their first ever under-20 AFCON title. Now, his 70th minute goal, confirmed by VAR, broke the deadlock against a disciplined Moroccan side. Now, it marks South Africa's first win over such opposition in the tournament and their first final appearance since 1997, making them the 12th nation to lift the trophy. Absolutely incredible stuff, but we round off with F1 action, and Max Verstappen won a thrilling Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, holding off McLaren duo Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri for his 4th Imola victory. Now, the Red Bull star passed pole sitter Piastri on lap 1 and maintained the lead throughout. Now, Lewis Hamilton impressed with a charge to 4th for Ferrari. Despite finishing 3rd, though, Piastri leads the championship with 146 points. It's definitely heating up, and hopefully not too much so when you talk about the traffic. But here's Carissa with the latest.
Thank you so much, Nature Boy. Speaking about nature, we'll get into weather in just a bit. For now, though, let's touch down with your roads. Now, we start out in Gauteng, Johannesburg. As reported in our previous bulletin, protesting action on the N1 at Diepkloof interchange is still ongoing, resulting in the freeway being heavily congested. Now, delays are being experienced, so please plan your route accordingly. If you can avoid it, please do so. But if you are headed there, allow for added travel time. Sticking in Johannesburg, we are going to a multi-vehicle accident on the N1 northbound at John Vorster Drive, causing a left lane closure. Now, as a result, traffic is slow moving. Therefore, motorists can expect delays when making use of the affected route. That is where we leave your roads for now. Let's get into your weather. Well, in your cold weather news, South Africans should prepare for icy conditions this week as 2 cold fronts move in from today all up until Friday. The South African Weather Service says these systems will hit coastal areas of the Western, Eastern and Northern Cape. That's within 48 hours, sending temperatures plummeting inland from Wednesday. Now, rough seas, strong coastal and interior winds, as well as potential snow in high-lying areas are expected. Heavy rain may lead to flooding in the Western Cape from tomorrow. Now, the public is urged to monitor updates via official weather channels. We did that all to run over to the sunrise view of this hour. And representing the East Rand, here's Renette out in Alberton, Johannesburg, looking absolutely stunning on that morning view. I love that the skies are clear, making sure that this Monday, the week is going to get started on the best of notes. Thank you so much, Renette, for sharing your morning view with us. On your side in Alberton, 21 degrees is what you can expect for your weather for today. We'll delve into temperatures in just a bit, but your final reminder for the rest of the week to continue snapping those morning views and share with us on 063-036-9649. We look forward to that for this Tuesday. For now, though, let's see how you can dress for the day.
Could this Monday mark your unforgettable moment? Let that sit with you for just a moment. In fact, let it sit while you think about this. If you play your daily lotto today, there is an estimated 400,000 rand rather, in the jackpot today. And you could find out. It is a lot. You can get your tickets now. You can go in-store when they open. You can do it right now online, nationallottery.co.za. You can use their mobile app. You can use cell phone banking. You can dial *120 *7529# on your phone and get USSD. Really simple, and we keep all those details up on the Expresso socials so that you've got no excuses to go and check them out and put yourself in the running to win big. Will the daily lotto jackpot, estimated at 400,000 rand, be yours? I have a feeling it might be, and you know I'm talking to you. I might be talking to one or two of you guys over there, yeah?
Me?
Yeah?
I think it's me. I think it's me. That money's coming my way. Yes, please. Manifest it. It's mine. Well, listen, what's coming up in the final hour of your Feel Good Breakfast show? So many good things. We have to touch down on what's happening on the social media streets, TikTok in particular, with what is trending. And we mentioned early on in the show, it's Africa Week.
Yes.
So we have to see the trending spaces, culture, and also vibes within the continent.
You know it's going to be good, and it's going to get even better because we're going to be celebrating Woolworths once again. Now, they've got so many incredible celebrations and medals and trophies when it comes to their dairy department. So we're going to touch base on their cottage cheese. Not just any cottage cheese. This is award-winning cottage cheese. So you know you've got every reason to stick around right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. We'll be back just after this.
Make a statement with every sip. The Stanley Aerolite Transit Mug in rose quartz metallic combines lightweight performance with undeniable style. Lightweight, leak-resistant, and stunning in pink. It's everything you need in a mug. Win 1 of 10 in our latest giveaway. To enter, follow Stanley SA on Instagram. Like the competition posts, comment, and tag a friend. Multiple comments don't equal multiple entries. Competition closes 23 May. T's and C's apply.
It's my Feel Good show.
Good morning, you beauties. If you've just woken up, well done. I don't know how you pulled that off. You don't have young kids or a job, but it's okay, man. We got you covered. No, we're having a lot of fun, and you are most welcome to join in. And we are feeling so proud this morning. It's Happy Africa Month, baby. And I think being African is a big flex at the moment. I think we can see Hollywood gets it, Europe gets it, and we're going to be celebrating all month long.
Absolutely. We asked you the question, though. What's your favorite thing about being African, or even about Africa, the continent in general? And we asked you to let us know across our social media. I'm so excited to see them. So let's get into some of your comments.
Yeah, let's get it going. Donald says, Shoka says, I am proud being African as my continent has many different biomes which international tourists want to explore.
That's your people, right?
Oh, that's so true. And we have there's nothing like fynbos in our country. There's nothing like some of the ocean life that we get on our coastline as well. You don't get it anywhere in the world. And I think if you look at the species and variety of fynbos alone, 60% of the variety makes up the entire amount of different plants in the entire world.
Wow.
We are diverse.
Yeah,
we are
I feel special.
Yeah, man. Nice comment. Thank you so much. Let's get another one coming in. Yeah, this one coming from Anthea. In the simple word, Ubuntu.
Yes.
I am because we are. And I think we are starting to understand that now and live it, not just as a notion, as a great quote to give out in the moment, but actually live it. Yeah, exactly. And especially in a marketing sense, we love to lean on words like that. Now we live it.
Oh, but how many countries can actually be proud about the fact that they're doing that? Because you have so much going on when people are being deported, people are being blocked from countries. We say, come on in and let's have a hug while you're at it. That's how South Africa's energy is.
Farm over here.
Yeah. Tons of space for you. All right, let's see what else you had to say. We had one from Pretty saying, good morning, Expresso team. My favorite thing in Africa is food. Nothing can beat African food. That part, absolutely incredible. Across every single culture, race, it's just delicious.
And it's the food trucks for me. When we get to, like, I was just thinking about the trip, like, where we get a short amount of time, but often the first thing I'll do is, and not like 5-star restaurant, go to the street food vendor.
You know, it's going to be
have
good.
one bite and you're like, okay, I get it. So I'm not right here.
What's your favorite food when it comes to South Africa?
Ooh, gosh, man.
It's the way we treat our food, I think. That's become, because we eat a lot on the show. And like I was in Barcelona recently with, I think, 3 of the best restaurants in Europe, one maybe in the world. Everywhere we ate, and literally without fail, every restaurant ever, and they were amazing. I was like, I wish a South African chef had cooked this. We've evolved and got our own palate now. The way we treat things, absolutely love it. Oh man, let's get another comment in.
One more in, and we've got Mark Gavin, our family. What's happening, bro? Good morning, Expresso Morning Show. Shopping at the robots. Oh, well, yeah, shopping at the robots. Anything from hats to wire art to bright dogs up for grabs. My favorite thing about Africa or being African, that is so true.
I'm thinking
a
of
car wash there.
And I don't need them, but I've got 5 giant tennis ball footballs. And they're just so cool. And it's because they're the last one. I'm like,
I've got such premium dustpans and brooms.
I was going to say.
Whoa, such
with a
quality.
Handle, with a handle on the thing.
Outdoor, indoor, you name it, man.
I don't bend over to dust something off the floor.
From up here.
There we go.
Even sunglasses. I got a good pair of two from there. But speaking about celebrating the continent as we know it, we're going to continue celebrating Africa Week and the rich tapestry of our continent's resources, but also innovation. And we're shining a light on complete local excellence.
Absolutely, yeah. Now, I know Chef Clem does all this, and he made his way to Fairfield Dairy to learn more about the care and the craft behind Woolworth's organic cottage cheese range. Now, this is made with organic milk, and it's free from roaming cows. It's a product rooted in quality, I think everything from the farm to your fridge. This is what it's about.
Man, and I think Clem would be in his happy place. So let's take us all to his happy place and take a look at where it all begins.
Welcome to Fairfield Dairy, where passion, innovation, and quality are the main ingredients in their dairy products. They're a proud supplier to Woolies and are the amazing producer of the award-winning organic cottage cheese range. Can you give me a brief history on Fairfield Dairy, and also let me know what sets you apart from your competitors?
The dairy started in 1991, which is long ago. We've been supplying Woolies for over 30 years now. Quality has been a driving force right from the humble beginnings on the farm when we started the dairy, which was really, really small way back in the day. We've grown over the years into what we are today in the state-of-the-art facility. So we're very proud of our history and our heritage. Innovation helps us to drive volume and to keep growing in the industry. And obviously, world-class standards are critical.
Now, we share those philosophies when it comes to sustainability, quality, and innovation. Can you tell me more about the partnership and how it's evolved over the years?
Our partnership is based on trust and respect. It's been built over many years, I'd say over 30 years. It's a very solid partnership. We build quality products for the consumer together.
What does Woolworths value most about this partnership?
Our value systems are completely the same as what Fairfield has. So we continuously have that communication of sustainability, quality first, all the good farming practices. And I think with that shared vision, you're continuously just striving just to be better for the customer and what the expectation is.
This organic cottage cheese is clearly very special, but what sets it apart from any other product on the shelf?
Woolies only has organic cottage cheese on their shelves. We do not have a regular cottage cheese range. And we did this because we wanted the customer to know that we are investing in this organic kind of way of doing things for our cottage cheese specifically. And I think it's a key highlight of what sets us apart, because we're the only ones in the retailer that has the entire range that's organic. We're always looking to see, is there some way to better the texture, or is there a culture that could be incorporated to give it a slightly different flavor? So I think cheese is amazing because it's continuously evolving every single day.
It's alive.
It's alive. And because of that, it's a great place to actually play.
Quintus, as operation manager, or Big Cheese, as we like to say, can you talk me through the process of making not just a great, but an award-winning organic cottage cheese?
I think the process really starts with the high quality milk that we receive from our organic farmer. Once the milk arrives here, it'll go through to gentle pasteurization, and from there we'll transfer it into our cheese vats where the culture is added. Once the cheese is set, we'll begin the process of cutting and cooking the cheese gently at a controlled temperature. We will cut the cheese. After that, we will ensure that we rinse the curds, drain the curds, and from there we can add the cream dressing. And the end result would be the wholesome, preservative-free product that you see.
Is that process the same for smooth cottage cheese and the chunky cheese?
Yeah, there's a slight difference in the two. The main difference being really that the smooth cottage cheese is subject to one further step in the process, which would be the milling of the cheese to get it into the smooth state that we see.
I live on the organic chunky cottage cheese, but there's more to the range. Can you tell me what it is?
So it's actually quite a full range. So we've got a full cream, and then we've got a low fat, and then we've got our fat free, and all of them come in a smooth or a chunky. So it's really giving that option of what is your preference. And then we've also got our chunky that's got a chive mixed through it as well, so giving a little bit of that different flavor profile. And then you mentioned your favorite, which is the chunky fat free. And that actually just came home with a Quality Award from the Dairy Champ, which is really a great accolade for our Woolies product.
So basically what you're saying is I have an award-winning palate.
Oh, yes, of course.
You heard it there. We've seen how the final product comes together, but I want to take a step back, a few steps, grassroots style, because for me, happy soil, happy grass is part of the recipe to happy cows. And I truly believe this is where the Woolies organic cottage cheese journey really begins. How are you doing, Andrew?
Hey, I'm good, thanks.
What
How
a
are
beautiful
you?
day in the office.
It is, hey.
It is.
What an office.
Now, Colborne's been providing Fairfield with organic milk for over 5 years now. Could you explain the relationship between Colborne, Fairfield and Woolworths?
It's really been amazing for me to work with Fairfield and Woolworths in doing this. The teamwork and collaboration, the openness has been fantastic. And just to see the way that both businesses embrace organics, really fundamentally believe in the principles, has kept us going along this route, has meant a lot in our relationship.
Andrew, what does being an organic dairy farmer actually mean?
We're not allowed to use synthetic chemicals. We're not allowed to use weedicides, pesticides, herbicides. We're not allowed to use synthetic fertilizers. And there are strict regulations around the way we manage our animals and the way we keep them. And that is audited by an international body, and that's what really lets us claim organic status. We also try and kind of embrace regenerative principles, and that is the management of our environment and soil and animals in a way that fosters the sustainability of those resources.
What challenges do you face being an organic farmer?
One of the biggest challenges is that we just rely on the environment a whole lot more. We rely hugely on grass. So if we have a lot of rain or we have a drought, Woolworths does have a challenge in that our production goes up and down, and I know they've faced complaints from customers because of that, and unlike conventional farming, it's very hard for us to buffer those. So those are the real challenges that we face.
Woolies is always striving not just for quality, but consistent quality. So how do you then work with a team like Fairfield to create the consistency specifically for the organic cottage cheese?
The amount of samples that are taken throughout the process to completely confirm that we're keeping that consistency throughout the process, not just at the end product. It also starts obviously with your ingredients, sourcing from the best organic farmer, sourcing the best cultures, working with culture houses to make sure that we're getting that creamy consistency that we're looking for. And then, of course, we get quality control sent to head office every week, which we're tasting through samples to make sure that whatever is on shelf is only the best that it can be.
You're working with so many variables and relying on Mother Nature. How do you ensure consistency time and time again?
The recipe going in needs to be the same, so our pasture management is critical to us. We replant every hectare every year just to make sure that the species are there and that we have different species. You see around me there, they're herbs, they're legumes, they're grasses, and we try and vary it just so that you've got something for every season. We make sure that when we have good times, we'll cut the grass and put it away, and so when times of scarcity come, we've got that grass and we can then take it out of our storage and we can feed it back to the cows.
Woolies Organic Cottage Cheese is a beautiful example of Woolworths and their suppliers' commitment to consistent quality, sustainability, and innovation. And the proof isn't just in the pudding, it's in all the awards.
Listen, I don't know if they come for free, but I saw some
Hey,
Roman
man,
cows
those
there.
Cows are living their life, man. They're having an absolute jewel. The place that they're living at, I wondered if I could ask for a spot, maybe camp out there and roam free with them, because that looks amazing. Come on.
I love it. I will say, I love cottage cheese. The chunkier, the better.
Yes.
I'm so here for it. I was
She's been talking
Gary,
about food non-stop for the last 5 minutes.
I loved it with avocado and cottage cheese.
Oh, that is a beautiful
How do you stack it? Show me
Like
the
this,
stack.
and then you go like this, and then you put a bit of pepper on it. Delicious.
Well, now that we know where it comes from, how much work, how much passion and innovation goes into it, we can understand the quality, the main ingredient in our Woolworths dairy products. Absolutely amazing. And you can shop Woolies' award-winning range of organic cottage cheeses and probably some others as well, in-store, online, and of course using their brilliant app.
Man, listen, there's so much to get excited about, and it's not just award-winning cheese, but it's also award-winning Africans, and we're going to shed the light on just that. We're going to the world of TikTok and seeing what the digital South Africans and Africans are doing in order to celebrate and get us celebrating them.
Are you ready for another performance?
Yes. I don't think we are, though. I say that, but
I'm not
Paris
ready.
has blown my brain
So
cells
good.
out of my head. Such an incredible performer. And we mentioned earlier how he's redefining what jazz is like in South Africa and Africa. We can't wait to get into that.
I'm feeling all emotional just thinking about it before we get a moment. Okay, give me 5 minutes.
blame you,
We'll be
bro.
back now.
Welcome back. We took our 5 minutes for Gray to gather himself, and now we are here, and I can't wait for it. Another one that has to gather himself is, of course, Paris, Sibalokulu Lamini, because we're going to get into a round of quickfire questions, as one does.
You look a little bit nervous. And you must be, because there's no time for dishonesty here, my friend, okay? You can't sugarcoat it. We just want brutal honesty. No, these questions are lovely. And I suppose because we haven't done a deep dive ourselves in the space of jazz, and you seem to be the perfect person to take us there, maybe this will reveal some things about yourself that you didn't even know. Okay, you've just got to answer, don't think, okay? First jazz album you ever listened to?
Shaluza Max, Ntambo. Yes.
And you still listen to it?
Yes. I'm all about reviving his sound, his music. Oh, Impilo, bageti. Oh, hambu kubona. Yep.
Oh, I love that.
Keep doing that thing.
Please,
Keep on that train. Keep on that train.
How about the most memorable moment that you can recall from recording this album within the 3 days that you did it?
Whoa. The magic that Makatini is very special. Mr. Ndutuzo Makatini, the doctor, is very special. So but also very strict. Very strict. So one of the things I also recall, he was actually producing my album, the same as Tandiswa's album.
Wow.
He left us and went to Dakar in Senegal to continue the project of Sankofa. But when you listen to these two albums, they're different. They're very much different. That's how special that man is.
A mastery of his craft. I
Mind
get
you, he's
that.
also a lecturer, so I don't know where the man finds time to do all of this.
No, I love that where you've got individuals that just, they're one thing and they just expand through the world. I love it. Now, I have a feeling you are such a creature, my friend. That being said, if you could expand to anywhere in the world, if you could perform this album anywhere on the globe, where would it be?
Oh, man. I just came back from Switzerland, but I want to go back to Europe.
Okay.
I want to go to Europe. I want to go to Asia. I want to go to Brazil.
Yeah.
And then the States. But I want to invade Europe, Asia, Brazil. Those sounds, you know, the Cubans down there, you know, those sounds.
And there's a very similar energy. We share that kind of DNA, dude.
Big time.
Big time.
Big time.
Beautiful. Well, you did very well for this quick fire questions. Absolutely loved it. But we expected no less from our superstar in studio, who we're going to send off into our performance space to give us.
You can go and take the mic, my brother. And yes, we have warned him that we are a tier risk. You can cry if you want to know. What I love about this, it's a transformative experience. Wherever you are right now, whatever that emotion is, sink into it. Just revel in this. We have got an unforgettable performance coming our way.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my second track, my second song, Imbiba Nebuzi. This song basically it encourages us to refrain from making lame excuses. You keep what you had promised on. Just do whatever you need to do. You borrow my money, bring it back. You like pitch up on the same day you had said you're gonna bring it back. If it's the 19th, bring it back. At least give me a call to say, man, I'm sorry, I couldn't make the 19th. I'm gonna make it on the 20th, 21st, all of that. So basically, and other things that we keep making excuses of, let's refrain from that. Yep.
uzothola inkinga kungcono mnane wo ma ungabole kumakhelwane ima uzokudunguza ngamawindi we kungcono mnane atufike impule kungcono msiselo umakhelwane wakho ufike izinkinga we kungcono mnane umakhelwane wakho ma ungabona umakhelwane wakho wowo kungcono mnanele noma ngabe uyambolekisela Abo Mona Lisa laba. Abo Mona Lisa laba. We amahlafuna kwafuna we. Kungcono umsiselo makhelwane. Masengifuna imali yami wabika ibuzi. Oh ngifuna imali yami ngifuna imali. Masengifuna imali yami wabika ibuzi. Oh ngifuna imali yami ngifuna imali. Ngikhuluma ngenkece wabika ibuzi. Ngikhuluma ngengcebo yabantu abamnyama ezweni likaMthaniya. Wabika ibuzi. Khuluma nawe wena ngingeke baba bethu bemandulo babe garden boy no mama bethu emandulo babe usomakishini sengifuna imali yami sengifuna imali yami wabika imbiba wabika ibuzi masengifuna imali yami wabika imbiba wabika ibuzi khuluma nawe wena ngingeceyana we makhelwane wami wanika imbiba wanginika ibuzi we ngikhuluma nawe wena ngikhuluma namahlafune kwavuma wabika imbiba wabika ibuzi khuluma nawe wena wabika ibuzi. Oh ngifuna imali yami ngifuna imali. Ngifuna imali yami ngifuna imali yami wabika imbiba wabika ibuzi.
Beautiful. Welcome back, you beauties. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been amazing. Paris gave us just a wickedly amazing performance before the break, and don't worry, if you missed it, you will get one more before we go. But right now, we are bringing you the feel-good vibes, and what better way to do that than by diving into what's trending on the TikTok this time. We are shining a spotlight on our beautiful continent of Africa, being Africa Week, Africa Month, Africa Year, I'm going to call it, celebrating some breathtaking landscapes, vibrant culture, and of course, the best heritage.
Ever in the world, ever. From stunning sceneries to soulful storytelling, Africa continues to inspire the world. So let's take a scroll through some of the awe-inspiring content that captures the heart of our beautiful continent.
Yeah, let's bring it on now. Firstly, located in Tunisia, we are talking about Sidi Bou, said is a picturesque coastal town known for having blue and white hued architecture and gorgeous clear waters. Woohoo, this sounds divine.
Wow.
Was that not a mistake and we just...
Everyone is on their phone right now, Googling.
Tunisia, hello.
Absolutely
That's
beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
All right, let's look into the next one, located in North Africa. This is Libya. It's the 4th largest country in Africa and also the Arab world and the 16th largest in the world. So let's see what they're giving us.
Or somewhere in the crowd there.
Ooh,
That's that ABBA in the background.
Water.
You see the color of the water, guys? What was
I'm talking like the Greek islands for what? The Greek islands for what? Now we're going to take in the Dinka tribal dance in South Sudan, in the heart of South Sudan. In fact, the Dinka tribe, they celebrate its rich heritage with these vibrant rhythms, and everybody is involved. It's a beautiful traditional dance. Now, each movement tells a story connecting generations, honoring ancestors. While tradition remains very strong, the influence of Western music can certainly be heard, like hip-hop and reggae. It's also even made its mark in that space, and the result, a very unique and completely Sudanese fusion of Arabic and African sounds that showcases the adaptability of South Sudan's culture. All are welcome indeed. I love it.
Guys, try those moves.
I think I might have some Sudan in me because I dance sometimes. Yeah. Dance. Oh, that's all making sense
The hands are going up to the meerkat. I like that. I like that a lot.
I love it. And of course, to bring it back home here to Mzansi, we have the beautiful Tsitsikamma National Park that covers 80 kilometers of coastline between Gqeberha and Jeffreys Bay. And it has over 10 hiking trails, all with absolutely stunning views. Have you guys been to Tsitsikamma?
The wild coast. I was thinking about this, man.
Bucket list.
Stunning.
Oh, man.
Oh, this is like
Storms
River.
mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy, you gotta love TV, eh? Because we were shooting a moment I had to do the river, but then, of course, now they need me coming in and out of the sea, and the storm is coming in. And how many takes do we generally have to do?
You got one shot.
Oh, buddy, man, that last time I was surfed in on my surf ski, literally. But that is, I think I still dream about the green and the blue in Tsitsikamma. You've got this blue wild expanse and this green wild expanse behind you. It is one of the most elemental spots on the planet. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at that. And that is around the corner, y'all. That's our country. That's our continent.
Beautiful. Okay, well, I know where I'm headed to next, for sure.
And there's some lekker little places on the beach, literally on the sea, where you, come on, get out.
Yeah, it's a bucket list destination. You've got to get involved. That's our wrap, I think, on what's trending on TikTok. I'll catch up, and especially the African edition. And let me tell you, Africa has definitely stood up and put its hand up to say, hey, we've got everything you need. No need to go overseas. Just go across the land, I think.
I absolutely love that. And, you know, often we think about places beyond Africa, but I think let's book a place right here on our continent. We have everything at our fingertips.
Run out of places to go to here first.
And
okay.
then.
Well, now, I think you know us on the show. We do like ourselves a good deal.
Absolutely.
And I think it is time for that.
Absolutely, and I think that's what it's about. Oh, sorry, guys.
Hello.
I know I'm...
Whose phone was that?
Is that you?
think that was
Again,
me.
right?
That's a case of,
that's
a case of those drinks.
Sorry, that was me, guys.
Lucian!
I actually have to Listen, if I can, this is absolutely epic. I need to share this with everybody, right? This is so cool, right? This is a must. So this Thursday, 22nd of May, 8 p.m., Samsung is turning up the heat with an exclusive live event that you cannot afford to miss. I have to share this with you guys.
Okay, fine. We'll forgive you. We'll forgive you,
Listen. It's everything from, I mean, we've got, picture this, right? Electrifying beats from live DJs, spinning non-stop, jaw-dropping Samsung deals dropping harder than those bass lines. One night, one chance, once in a lifetime. That's what it's about, guys.
Goodness, it all goes down this Thursday. I
It's
can't
my
wait
birthday,
for it.
guys. You don't understand. We're going to party. We're going to party on my birthday. I like that. And I'm just saying, it's my birthday, okay?
So whether you're chasing the hottest tech deals or just here for the epic vibes or Gray's birthday, trust us, this party's got your name written all over it. And it's streaming live on Samsung's YouTube as well as social pages for you to enjoy it from the comfort of your living room. Can you imagine? And the deals will only be available on the Samsung Shop app and will be revealed during the Pre-Kend special live stream. The Pre-Kend is here, baby.
I like that. As we always say, you're going to have to move your coffee tables. You have a party in your house. So set your reminders, then tune in and tune it up. This is going to be the next big thing, and it's coming straight to your screen. And while you're at it, we are going to be challenging you to text your crew to come in and join in on this incredible, I think, party first off, but the deals are going to be amazing. Deals will only be available on the Samsung Shop app from Thursday, the 22nd of May, up until the 25th of May, while stocks last. A lot of focus needs to be right there.
Oh my goodness,
Come
Gray,
on.
this is the perfect birthday party.
just saying,
One move,
guys.
one move. Give us one move. What are we doing on the dance floor? The meerkat.
Oh, yeah. That's
Once it starts, it just can't stop. Oh, please come and party with us, please.
Listen, I need to actually go and put my phone on silent, and I'm going to go sneak into some of those deals right now. So let me just go prep and do that salon, guys.
All right, naughty, right? Well, listen, we're gearing up for the ultimate tech takeover with Samsung and, of course, giving you the chance to win a 1,500 Rand Samsung online voucher to spend on the latest tech.
Very nice. So simply tag that friend, that bestie you want to attend the Samsung Virtual Pre-Kend special event and tell us what you're most excited for using hashtag Pre-Kend with Samsung in that answer. Competition closes 21st of May, obviously this year, but T's and C's do apply.
Beautiful. Well, right now, he switched his phone onto silent, but he also did that in order to get to cooking. I hope your hands are free, Rao.
I'm hungry, man.
Listen, the one thing I'm going to do before I touch any of this food is obviously wash my hands. But before I even wash them, I want to talk to you about what we're doing right now because we're celebrating everything African. On our African continent, we have athletes, we have artists, we have activists, and we have so much to get behind. So I think this is exactly what it's about. And now we're going to take it to North Africa, give you a little bit of that Moroccan feel all the way into your kitchen. So you can find this recipe at expresso.com. But we're going to show you how easy it is to make. It's vibrant rice. It's a dish that's inspired by the bold, colorful flavors of North African cooking. And it's one of those use what you have recipes. So we have dried fruit, nuts, fresh herbs, pantry staples. Everything's going to be coming together to create something truly special. So officially, Carissa's in here. I'm going to wash my hands and we're going to get cooking.
Yeah,
you ready
baby.
for this one?
I think the first rule is let's switch it on.
Yes, put the pan on, get your hands clean because we're going to get involved in this one, Mzansi.
Yes, please,
and,
okay.
Maybe you can chat to them about what's actually in the pan already, Carissa.
I'm seeing you already got a pre-start on this. So we've got some carrots, some olive oil, a whole cinnamon stick. Recently found out that's bark.
Yes,
Yeah.
I had no idea as well until I realized that's what we've been grinding into all our meals. Tree bark? Tree bark had never been so good.
As well as some onions.
I think that this is the perfect reason to also speak about cinnamon in this sort of raw form. And it's something we've been using more than just the powder. It has a slightly different flavor profile to it. But it really does just pull flavor out when you're adding it to something like this. So let's get it going. We've already sauteed our onions. We've got the carrots sauteed with some of the good stuff. Now we've got some mixed peppers in here. Get all the colors that you can.
Yes, please.
Pop that in. Is this thing on?
It is on.
Oh, yeah, it is on. That's nice and hot. We used a lot of these spices earlier, and essentially all we're adding to that same mix earlier is an allspice. So we've got cumin, we've got turmeric in here, we've got an allspices, and then a little bit of like paprika, just to add some heat. So pop that in there, adding some more color to this dish already. And a little bit of salt and pepper is always going to go a long way. You don't have to have too much of that. And I'll come through with the lemon while you're on that and just squeeze some of that good stuff in there.
Nice.
So now you can clearly tell, with lemon being squeezed in here, we've got some warm spices too. This is a beautiful balance. Citrus, warmth, comfort, and it's like a polarity that we have absolutely invited into the kitchen, especially when you talk about these colors as well. It's
And
so
I love
good.
the fact that we're using so many vegetables. I'm just like, yes, if you're going to do anything when it comes to rice, just put everything in your fridge that might be going bad, okay? Add it in. But this is such a great way to use the ingredients.
And I don't think anybody's going to say no to this because this is a meat-free, it's perfect for vegans, it's perfect for anybody looking to get some nutrition in. So all our steps are pretty much complete except for cooking that up, letting it saute, and then adding some of the stock into this. And the stock is also dependent on how much rice you are going to be using. You don't want to get it too slodgy, so I'm not going to put all of this into that right now because we haven't fully sauteed all this veg. But essentially, you know what's going to happen once that's done. I'll start slowly adding in more stock as this thing starts to come to life. But this is literally it, Carissa. How simple.
Yeah, maybe we should add some rice in it.
Well, that's the finishing product, but I wanted to talk about this because literally this, what you have here is all the flavor, all the body, all the magic. And you simply then have to add the rice to this. So all the work is done. Now you just pop that in and chill. And what we've done here is soaked some rice first, got some of the starch off, and then like Carissa says, all we got to do is add
it in.
Yeah.
I would eat this on its own. This is like a delicious soup.
But this is what I'm saying. And you know, we love a lot of the foods we got from growing up. The stews, the breedies. I think this lends to it. Or maybe we actually lend some of these flavor profiles from North Africa because it's definitely something that I'm familiar with. It's definitely something I can resonate with. And you'll see how the rice just slowly starts to punch up, pack up, and bring all of this flavor inside of it. That looks good, right?
Yeah, and it's crazy because growing up, we would eat savory rice every other day on a Sunday as well, and this is savory rice.
Like bougie savory rice from North Africa.
Come on, North
Absolutely
Africa.
love it. So if you want to show off your rice game, then you come to the Rice Blood Place. Head over to expresso.com, find this recipe. Literally, look how easy it was to make. We've got some crushed almonds here and any sort of nuts just to kind of sprinkle in to add some of that authenticness to it. And I think that's something very particular with North Africa. Definitely. So again, Mzansi, have fun with it. Use some of your pantry staples. Head over to expresso.com and enjoy Moroccan North African magic. And this is how good it looks.
Doesn't
Come
that look
on now.
amazing?
Your kids are going to love you after that.
Oh,
That looks good.
yeah, that with the chicken. Thank you.
Nice job. We did that. Yeah.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Here's the good news. This Monday could mark your unforgettable moment. If you play daily lotto today. There is an estimated 400,000 Rand in that jackpot today. So go and find out. Buy your tickets. You can do it in-store when they open, nationallottery.co.za online. You can use their mobile app. You can use your own cell phone banking app, or you can just dial *120 *7529# for USSD. And we'll keep those details as we do on the Expresso pages in the social spaces, so you can go and check them out. And just make sure you put yourself in the running to win big with that daily lotto jackpot estimated at 400,000 Rand today. Now, I know I have been gushing a little, and with good reason. This is a singular talent, and you get to plug in right now. Paris, take it away.
Anginaindlela yokuchaza ubuhle bakho, ngoba nayo leyo ndlela iyaphela. Anginalo icebo lokukuthengela uphahla, ngoba ngelinye ilanga liyoguga. Ngingabhala ngeqephuze kukhali izinsizwa, ngingalawula izulu holine liphele. Kungcono ngiculele ngoma, kungcono ngiculele ngoma, kungcono sangicula. Njengemoto kanokusho ithi ngamalale izinkukhu, njengemfudumalo yehlobo uthi ungazelele bukufica ubusika. Ngingabhali ngondle ngiqephuze kukhali izinsizwa, ngingalawula izulu holine liphele. Kungcono ngicule ngoma, kungcono ngicule ngoma, kungcono sengicula ngoma, kungcono ngicule njengofuna ugeleza umoya Ladies and gentlemen, it's Breyton Paulse on piano. Ngingabhala inkondlo ngiqephuze kukhali izinsizwa, ngingalawula izulu holine liphele. Kungcono ngiculele ngoma, kungcono ngiculele ngoma, kungcono ngiculele.
Another feel-good production.
Sengicula le ngoma.